NBC Sports presents the National Football League. Today, it's the Indianapolis Colts versus the New England Patriots.
Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Foxborough, and boy, did we catch a break here in early December weather-wise. Take a look at that temperature, 47 degrees, sunny skies, a beautiful day for football. Indianapolis and New England. As we get set here this afternoon, I'm Jim Donovan, along with Beasley Reese. Go back to week number 1 of this season. They opened against each other in Indianapolis. New England went in there and shocked the Colts 16-7.
Indianapolis was favored in the game, and the loss simply shocked everybody. It signaled the beginning of the end for then Coach Ron Meyer. Now, for the Patriots, it got everybody believing on this team in Dick McPherson. They've been very competitive.
And they have steadily improved, whereas the Colts have gone down. What a change in the Patriots' backfield here today. It should be interesting to watch. John Stevens will become a blocking back for the first time in his career.
And talk about expensive, over $800,000 a year for this man. It'll change the offense a little bit. They'll go from an I formation to a split formation. If it doesn't work, they'll go back to a single back offense.
Now, over to the Indianapolis sideline. Yes, it's gloomy. They've only won one game. Rick Venturi wants to be the head coach of the Colts. He's 1-7 since taking over for Ron Meyer. Can he get the job?
You know what? He's got 3 games. This is very important. This game is as important for him as game 1 was for Ron Meyer. He's got New England, Buffalo, and then he's got Tampa. Win today, win in Tampa, he may get a job.
All right, we'll have to wait and see that. One of the things he had to do this year was suspend Eric Dickerson because of poor practice habits. Now he's back. I don't get the impression both guys are speaking to each other.
You know, Rick Venturi told us last night that he doesn't have to have long conversations with his players. All you have to do is play for me. Now, he played for him last week, gaining 117 yards, and I've got a suspicion. I think that he'll play very well today. He's not talking to the press. He's doing his talking on the football field.
Dick McPherson has stressed to his Patriots here during this practice week that they are going to have to play so hard today because for the first time they have been favored to win a game. Also, for the New England Patriots, a lot of them in their standard contracts have been offered incentives for winning 5 games. They are at 4 right now. A win today would start getting those 19 or 20 players involved in that situation some money.
You know, I think that tells you that the Patriot organization took a look at the season and said, we were horrible last year. We win 5. That'll be the start to a turnaround.
Sammy Martin, a former player with the Patriots. In fact, he started the year with them, takes the kickoff, and brings it out to the 24-yard line. And that's where Jeff George and the Indianapolis Colts will begin. Here's the Colts lineup for today. Their offensive line simply must start protecting Jeff George. And Brian Blados is the new left tackle. Bubba Harris was waived after a tough performance last week against Cleveland. In the backfield, George will have Clark and Dickerson. Dickerson went over 100 yards last week. Hester, Brooks, and Beach. And in third down situations, the Colts will bring in Verdin and Sammy Martin to give them that 4-wide look. 1st and 10 at the 24-yard line of Indianapolis. Colts with 1 win this season. New England with 4. First down, it looks like a busted play, but George is going to trip, fall, and turn it into about a 3-yard gain out to the 27-yard line. Let's check the New England defense for you right now and meet them. A good front 7. Watch 59, Vincent Brown today. And as we watch him throughout the afternoon, see if you think he might be a Pro Bowler. I think Beasley and I do believe that he belongs in the Pro Bowl this year. In the secondary, Fred Marion's gone for the rest of the year with an abdominal muscle injury, so Tim Gordon takes his spot. And then in the nickel package, Henderson, Washington, and Poole come into the lineup. A busted play on first down turns into a short gain for George, and it's 2nd down and 7. And now whistles blow, and we'll have the officials bringing a new football into play. That's Stan Kemp, the referee for today's game. So Baldinger, the center of the Colts, wanted a new football to snap with. And the Colts will stay right up at the line of scrimmage. 2nd down and 7. Dickerson, the lone back. He gets it. And runs it out to the 30-yard line, and then he's gang tackled there. Agnew is in on the stop along with Chris Singleton. It will be 3rd down.
You know, everybody's upset with Eric Dickerson. When he was introduced here today, he was booed. When he set the record, you know, moving up to number 3 all-time last week, he was booed. So he's got a PR problem. He might be just a little bit too much professional athlete. and not enough football player. He's always been a businessman, making sure he kept a very high salary and a high profile.
3rd down and 4. The Colts are just roughly over 32% on 3rd down this year. That's Bill Brooks down the line in motion. Clark gets the carry and will not get the first down. Marion Hobby comes over and makes the tackle. A good play by Hobby to chase down Clark. That was a surprise that George would not be throwing.
You know, it was a surprise, although when we spoke to the offensive coordinator, we talked to Milt Jackson, he was saying that they are going to definitely try to establish the run, even run in some 3rd and short, 3rd and medium situations, take some of the pressure off of Jeff George. So that's the reason that you saw that.
Jerome Henderson is back deep for the Patriots, back at the 25-yard line. Ron Stark to punt. As New England holds a half hop. And on the trap hop, Stark did a nice job to get it out of there. Then Henderson ran up on the ball at the 32, and it went by him and lands at the 24-yard line. Not a very good play.
No, it's not, and especially for a guy that's normally very smart in that situation.
46-yard punt by Stark. Let's meet the Patriots offense right now. An offense that didn't get the job done at all last week in Denver. They were flat. Armstrong, Crawford, Chilton, Villa, and Pat Harlow, who's been injured all week. He suffered the injury in the Patriots practices this week, but he's back in there playing today. Russell and Stevens in the backfield. We'll watch that one with a lot of anticipation. And in 3rd down, Michael Timpson comes in, and Marv Cook becomes a wide receiver. 1st and 10, the Patriots start at their own 24. And Millen will go up top on 1st down, and he throws it right in there to Marv Cook. And Cook on the season now has reception number 71 on the year and a short gain out to the 32. Here's the front 7 for the Indianapolis Colts. They last week 31 points scored in the first half by Cleveland, but in the second half the Browns didn't do anything, and so it was a real gut check time for the Colts defense, and they did a pretty good job. They had a goal line stand. There's their secondary, and joining their secondary in the nickel package will be Mike Pryor, who makes his way back after an injury. 2nd down for the Patriots and 4 on the first down play, 6-yard pass completion. This is Russell. And Stevens got a pretty good block, and he's down to the 13-yard line and stopped there. Not bad by Stevens.
No, not bad. He put it in there, and he's a physical player. He's going to block, and he's going to block very hard because he's been very frustrated all season long sitting on the bench. So this is a great opportunity for him. If this 2-back set can work and they can share the ball a little bit, he'll get a lot more playing time.
3rd down and 3 coming up for New England. Michael Timpson will come in, so they'll go into that 4 wide receiver look with Timpson and Cook becoming wide receivers, joining McMurtry and Irving Fryer. Stevens is the blocking back in there now out of the shotgun formation for Millen. Good protection and a great catch by Cook, and he's down, ruled down at the 37-yard line, 1st down.
Well, if he doesn't make All-Pro, there's a problem. This guy can catch. That was a fabulous reception, and he's done it all year long. He's their possession guy. You'll see him catch passes 10, 12 yards. Take a look, reaching out with the left hand. It doesn't get any better. This guy can catch. He was a quarterback in high school, and quarterbacks always have good hands because they handle the ball all the time. That's the reason he can catch so well.
1st and 10, and now he's got 2 here today, so 72 receptions on the year. John Stevens running out to the 39-yard line. So they were in their 2-back split right there, and instead of going to Russell, they went to Stevens. He's out to the 39-yard line. Jeff Harrod is in on the stop for the Colts. 2nd and 7 coming up for the Patriots.
You know, we were talking to defensive coordinator George Kotavalis while he's serving pretty much as the defensive coordinator. And he said that a lot of people in the NFL have been not fearing, but wondering why they wouldn't put these 2 studs together. And we'll see how it works today.
2nd down now for New England. No score. 5 minutes played here in the 1st quarter. It comes out to Fryer, but they are right there. Chris Good comes up and hits Fryer as they tried to set up that play along the sideline and sent Stevens and Harlow out there to block for Fryer once he caught the ball.
It's a good play because you've got a great athlete right there. The reason it doesn't work is that the cornerback, Good, is reading the 3-step drop of the quarterback. As a result, he's there quickly. Now, John Stevens is not allowed to block him, you know, until that ball actually gets to Fryer. That's the reason he had to run by him.
3rd down and long now for the Patriots. Irving Fryer, we speak about Cook having a good year. Fryer is having a great year. Look at those numbers. And Fryer is another one of the Patriots who also hopes that being on a team that only has 4 wins.
Play is under review.
Now they are checking to see if it was a completed pass or an incomplete pass. The ruling on the field, as you heard Stan Kemp, is that Fryer never had control. And I tend to agree, although let's watch it again, and I'll get back to the point about Fryer, Beasley.
Well, we'll see if he actually gets control and gets both feet down. I don't think he ever had that. It looks like it hit him and came right out.
But Fryer hopes that being on a team that's only won
After
4
review,
games, that doesn't hurt his chances of going to the Pro Bowl because he has had a great season.
He's had a great season, and he told us that he really doesn't want to get his hopes up too high and get disappointed. He's made the Pro Bowl once before. He made it as a punt returner, although he did play a few plays at wide receiver in Hawaii. He'd like to make it as a wide receiver, and he certainly deserves it.
The ruling is incompleted pass. 3rd down and 7 for the Patriots. A blitz from the outside. Millen picks it up. He's got a man wide open over the middle, and it's caught, and it's McMurtry at the Colts 36.
Now, that was a good job all around. Good blitz pickup, good recognition by the quarterback. Now, take a look. Oh, that's a good pullout by Danny, and good blocking up front. Millen moves around and finds himself an open receiver. Let's look downfield this time. McMurtry just sitting. That's just a great play, and good job by Millen. He really made that work along with the play of the offensive line.
Played his high school ball, McMurtry did, in Brockton, Massachusetts, then went to Michigan. 25-yard pass play and a 1st down. Leonard Russell, about a yard gain, and then he's pushed back. Davis pushes him back along with Jeff Harrod. And it will be 2nd down and 9 yards to go for a Patriot 1st down. Well, Beasley, the returns are sparse right now from other stadiums around the NFL.
I'm worried about that Philadelphia Giant thing.
So many big games today. We'll keep you up to date all afternoon long on teams possibly wrapping up their divisions.
Right.
Or clinching playoff spots. Neither one of these teams here this afternoon have to worry about that, but it's 0-0 between Indianapolis and New England with 8.5 to go here in the 1st quarter. Fumble, and it looks like the Patriots are going to get it back. John Vaughn had the pitch hit him right on the numbers, and it fell out of his arms, and then he had the ability to get it back, and so the Colts almost have a turnover.
See, this play is destroyed from the beginning by the inside rush. They got the penetration. That just messed up everything. John Vaughn very lucky to come up with the ball.
And Vaughn will check out of the lineup, and now New England will have 3rd down and 12 and a definite passing situation. So Stevens will come in for Hugh Millen and block from in the shotgun formation, and they'll go with 4 wide receivers. Colts blitzed the last time on 3rd down. Millen steps up and fires, and it's McMurtry again. Fryer gave him a block at the 15-yard line, and it's a 1st down.
That was an amazing block. He took out 2 people. That shows you, man, what a block. I mean, aggressive and right on the button. Hugh Millen playing and off to an excellent start right now. Let's take a look at the reception. That starts off with a great catch and great concentration. Watch this. Great block, taking out 2 people by Irving Fryer.
But it was an expensive block because Fryer is limping on his left leg. And the Patriots training staff rushes out to help him off the field.
And that is a severe limp.
Fryer, we will check out on the Patriots bench as soon as they attend to him, limping on the left leg after giving a great block along that sideline to his wide receiver, Greg McMurtry, who caught the ball. And the block that he put the man that he put the block on was Mike Pryor. That's too bad. What a hustle play by Fryer.
That's just too bad. You don't want to lose a guy like him. You know, 3 perfect scenarios there. Millen was great, McMurtry was great, Fryer was fantastic.
And they're 1st and 10 at the Indianapolis 15. Russell to the 10. Down to the 8-yard line. Michael Ball makes the tackle for the Colts.
Now let's take a look at what is a man bull. You see Stevens folding inside, helping out with the block. Most running backs are down right there. 2nd and 3rd effort. That's why he's been the guy getting the ball most of the time all season long. A big man, 6'2", 235 pounds.
Second down, they must get to the 5-yard line. The 11th play of the drive. Started at their own 24-yard line. They're at the Indianapolis 8. Now they go to Stevens. Trying to get to the 5-yard line, which would give them the first down. He stopped, it looks like, at the 6, setting up 3rd down and 1. And again to the sideline as they work on Irving Fryer. It was his left leg, Beasley, that he was favoring as he went to the Patriots sideline.
Now, just, seeing so many injuries and being hurt a lot myself, it's strange for them to be working on him from the back in that position. So maybe it's not a knee. Maybe it's the lower part of a hamstring. We'll get a report as soon as we can.
3rd down and a little bit more than 1. Russell gets hit, stopped, and he will not get it. Good defense by the Colts. Keith Taylor gets up, but John Hand is the primary man. Listen to the offensive coordinators now here in Foxborough. They want the Patriots to go for it on 4th down, but they will try a field goal.
And let's take a look at the pit here. You get the surge. John Stevens is met square in the backfield by Jeff Arad. They get a stalemate. That's what closes up the hole. Now, Stevens actually put Jeff Arad on his back, and Jeff Arad is a tough guy. He's got 123 tackles already this year, but, he read that one perfectly. Stevens did the best he could.
Hodson holds the spot at the 14. Bauman's kick is up, and Charlie Bauman gives the Patriots the lead. A 24-yard field goal, his 5th as a member of the Patriots, and New England jumps out to an early 3-0 lead. We'll be right back. Charlie Bauman kicked a 24-yard field goal as New England marched down the field. Irving Fryer has a bruise of his lower left leg, and they are going to take him in for some x-rays. He got it on a block that he delivered trying to get Greg McMurtry some extra yardage. It was a great play. We hope Fryer's okay. The kickoff is very short. Verdun takes it at the 15-yard line, and he is very dangerous to the 36. That's where the Colts will start. Good field position brought down by Tony Zachary. There goes Fryer to the Patriot locker room as they'll check out his leg by virtue of x-ray, and we'll be right back to Foxborough.
The National Football League is brought to you by Starter. Look for the stars and you'll find Starter. By Chevrolet, the heartbeat of America. The cars more people depend on. By New Coors Cutter non-alcoholic brew. And by Sharp Electronics Corporation. From sharp minds comes sharp products.
5 minutes and 6 seconds remaining here in the first quarter. Jim Donovan and Beasley Reese with you. After a 21-yard kickoff return by Clarence Verdun, Jeff George and the Colts start at their own 36-yard line. Eric Dickerson and Tim Manoa make up the backfield behind George. And here comes Dickerson. Bounces it outside. There's Vincent Brown, Beasley.
Well, we won't have trouble finding him. This guy is all over the place. A legitimate all-pro candidate. Take a look at Irving Fryer coming in on the end here. You see the shoulder gets Mike Pryor. The leg comes around and is whipped back. And that's probably where he got the bruise. And when you hear the word bruise, you should put a smile on your face if you're a football fan or a fan of Irving Fryer, because you can put some ice on that. That'll be okay.
A loss of 1 for Dickerson. 2nd down and 11 for George. Back to Dickerson. And he runs it out to the 40-yard line. And is brought down there, setting up 3rd down and long for the Colts. Now let's go around the league again. Still no score in these big games. Houston can clinch. Philadelphia's playing so well. Cleveland has faint playoff hopes. They must beat Denver today. And of course that series has such a great history to it. The Bears have gone ahead in a game that they need because they're neck and neck with Detroit in that NFC Central Division. And here in New England, the Patriots drove for a field goal on their first possession of the game. A 24-yard shot by Charlie Bauman. 3rd down now, 6 yards to go for the Colts. A flag is down. Hester makes the catch. He's short of the first down as Tony Zachary wraps him up at the 43-yard line. There was a flag thrown, so we'll check out the call here.
Well, it was an all-out blitz there by New England. Obviously, they plan to put some pressure on George.
And it will go against the Colts.
Boy, that happens so many times. When everybody comes up to the line of scrimmage, it's going to be a blitz. Somebody will lean back just a little bit.
Stan Kemp with the call now. New England's going to decline it, I believe.
Number 63 on the offense. The penalty is declined. 4th down.
And it was on the left tackle, I believe, wasn't it? Conlon?
It sounded like
Blados.
he said 63,
Yeah,
so
Blados.
Brian Blados was in motion, as we say, trying to anticipate the blitz.
Jerome Henderson is deep as New England declines the penalty, setting up 4th down and 1 for Indianapolis. And Ron Stark comes in for his 2nd punt of the day. Stark will try and put Henderson back inside the 10. He catches at the 8 and returns out to the 23-yard line. Patriots ball after a 48-yard punt and 14-yard return. New England leads 3-0, and we'll be right back here to Foxborough. It is New England ball at their own 23-yard line, 1st and 10. Their defense has successfully held Indianapolis. Dick McPherson pounding it into his players' heads yesterday. You must win games that you're expected to win. They are expected to beat the Colts here today. It's the first time that has happened this season. New England's been favored to win. Leonard Russell runs right into the arms of Dwayne Bickett. All right, next Saturday, a special afternoon of great NFL action, beginning at 3:30 Eastern Time with NFL Live. Bill Walsh and O.J. Simpson will, of course, be out there in San Francisco and taking a look at the 49ers. Then right after NFL Live, the Kansas City Chiefs and San Francisco 49ers. And what a great, great game that should be, Beasley. The Chiefs needing a win, the 49ers right on the fence.
They have to win, and that's what's so great about this time of year, isn't it?
2nd down for the Patriots. After Russell ran on 1st down, he runs on 2nd down, and a very short gain out to the 26-yard line. Jeff Harrod is having a fine season, and he makes the stop here again today.
You know what? This has just been super effort by the defense there. Harrod and Bickett, everybody all over the place.
All right, here's the AFC playoff picture right now as we come into today's action. There you see it. The Raiders, with a win later on this afternoon against the Buffalo Bills, will wrap up a playoff spot. But Kansas City is right in there looking for a wild card playoff spot. And in the playoff picture over in the NFC side, San Francisco, boy, normally they have a playoff spot wrapped up by now, but of course they have struggled this year with all their injuries. So that sets you up for a great Saturday of football next week on NBC. Millen throws, the ball is batted down at the line of scrimmage, and it will be 4th down.
You know what? That was a great break on the ball by Mike Pryor that time. They just got him back from a couple of injuries, and he told me, I was on the field talking to him. He said he's just going to play primarily in the nickel situations, and that's the reason he's in there. Take a look at the end of this play. McMillan thinks he's got a man. Look at Pryor sneaking up right now, right side of your screen, coming in right there to hit McMurtry. That's what he does so well.
Sam Clancy knocked the ball down. Sean McCarthy is in to punt. Verdun is deep for the Colts. Indianapolis should get good field position. Nice high punt by McCarthy. At the 25, here goes Verdun. Oh, New England surrounds him and makes a fine special teams play. Lockhart is down on the tackle. Eugene Lockhart, but there were about 8 Patriots smothering, making a big circle around Verdun. Colts ball when we come back, 3-0 New England. Lead 3-0, a minute 45 left to go here in the first quarter. Indianapolis has to start getting some first downs. They are without a first down here in the game. They fake it to Dickerson, fling it out to Clark, and Clark brings it out to the 34-yard line. Patriots fans wanted a penalty. There was none called. We want an NFL Live update. Let's go to Bob in New York.
Your wish, Jim, is our command. Here is Alan Pinkett, who earlier had killed a Houston drive by fumbling at the Pittsburgh 7, taking this one across from 7 yards out, and it's 7-0. Houston in the first quarter at home over the Steelers. An Oiler win clinches the AFC Central.
First down for Indianapolis. Thank you, Bob. 3-0 here. New England leading over the Colts. Ball is at the 35-yard line. Patriots almost jumped. Smolis almost jumped from that middle nose tackle spot. Dickerson outside, and Harry Colin comes up to make the tackle, dump him for a loss.
What a perfect play by the rookie. smelled it out, came across, got him back in the backfield. He's lined up a strong safety right now. Sees the play coming this way. Look at the perfect stretch and string out by the Patriot defense, even knocking the ball out. Great job for the rookie.
Harry Colin getting the congratulations from his teammates on the sideline. Eric Dickerson will try and get some yards here. He's had tough running room so far. Absolutely no running room to date here early in this game. We're inside the last minute here in the first quarter. Second and close to 11. Patriots blitz. George gets rid of it, and the catch is made by Bill Brooks. Out over the 45, out near midfield. First down, Indianapolis. 14-yard gain. Now we've got some scores on the 10-minute ticker that we want to share with you. Houston leading. The Giants leading. Sims to Megan for a touchdown. Kevin Mack has given Cleveland an early lead over Denver on a short run. 7-0 in Cleveland. San Diego over the Chiefs right now, 7-0. Dallas leads, and it's Chicago over Green Bay, 7-3. 3-0 here at Foxborough Stadium. Charlie Bauman, a 24-yard field goal for the Patriots. Dickerson runs on first down and gets some pretty good room. The best room he's had so far to the 46-yard line of New England. Wrapped up by Marion Hobby. And that should do it here in the first quarter. The end of quarter number 1 here in New England. The Patriots lead over the Indianapolis Colts by a score of 3-0. We'll be right back after this. There's New England Patriots defensive coordinator Joe Collier. And Beasley, he said to us yesterday, you always worry when you play a guy like Eric Dickerson that he's going to bust out of and have a big game. Especially after what Joe Collier saw out of Dickerson last week. He's really concerned about it. 13 yards rushing for Dickerson in the first quarter. George changes his set in the backfield. Clark and Dickerson are the backfield. Dickerson outside, brought down, nice play.
That's Garen Ferris deep in the backfield. What a charge. That's exactly what they need. They have to keep this guy discouraged. You know, he's been upset with the offensive line play all season long. So what they've got to do is keep Eric Dickerson questioning whether or not he's going to get some protection and some blocking. Garen Ferris, perfect that time.
And it will be third down and long. The Patriots rotate their front threes. So the front three that starts is normally Agnew, Goad, and Williams. Then they come in with Hobby, Smirlis, and Veras, and that's who's in there right now. Jeff George is perfect on the day throwing. 4 wide receivers into the game for the Colts. He's 3 for 3 for 29 yards. Patriots blitz. George got hit, and it's intercepted and dropped. Zachary couldn't hang on at the 32-yard line.
Well, that was a gift. I mean, George was under pressure, something he's accustomed to. I mean, the man's been sacked 47 times this season. He kind of gets it out of his hands a little bit quicker than he really wanted to because of the pressure. And, man, this is one that Zachary would love. That's like a gift. But you know what happens? Split concentration. He sees Jesse Hester out of his right eye. He sees the ball out of the left eye. You got to be able to block it out, make the catch, even though you think there's going to be a collision.
Henderson is back at his 10. Stark punts. Fair catch. He'll let it go, and they're going to be trapped inside their 10. There's a flag down on the play. Back at the 8-yard line is where the ball goes down. It's a 42-yard punt. And we'll check out the call from Stan Kemp. All right, let's get it sorted out here, guys. It can't be that long. It can't be that hard. It's only on a punt. Let's come up with the call here.
Well, we've had some complicated calls this season.
This one should be elementary, my dear friend.
Unsportsmanlike conduct. Number 36 on the receiving team, blocking after he gave a fair catch signal. Half the distance, first down.
That's on Henderson. He called for the fair catch and then blocked on the play.
Which you cannot do.
So New England will be inside their 5 when we come back. We'll be right back after this timeout. Second quarter has started, 3-0 to score. New England in the lead. Pretty good report on Irving Fryer, bruised left leg, and they're going to re-examine him at halftime.
And that's the greatest word you can hear in a situation like this is bruise. So the X-ray was negative. Looks like he'll be okay. We don't know whether or not he'll return.
Boy, what a disappointment for him. He thought he'd have a very big game today, and he wasn't even involved in the play as far as catching the ball that he got injured on. He was throwing a block and got injured on that play, but it was a great block.
A beautiful block it was.
New England's got a problem now with field position. After the penalty on that punt, Jerome Henderson blocking after he called for a fair catch. They're inside their 5. John Vaughn. Nice run by Vaughn, and he cuts and weaves out to the 15 and close to a first down.
You know, it's got to be frustrating for Vaughn. You know, he's playing behind 2 excellent athletes in Russell and in Stevens, but every time this young guy gets an opportunity, he makes something work. Came out of college as a sophomore. Look at the vision there. I mean, those are radical cuts on a field that should be a little bit soft after getting 3 or 4 inches of snow on Friday.
When we talked with Vaughn on Friday, I asked him, why did you come out of Michigan? And he said, basically, he had to leave Michigan because he wasn't playing anymore. Here's a kid that had 5. He had 1,000 yards rushing after 5 games last year, and then suddenly was on the bench after that in Michigan. And his best buddy is Desmond Howard, the magic man from Michigan, and so he is rooting and talking to Desmond weekly, hoping that he'll win the Heisman. And, of course, we'll be able to show that to you live here on NBC coming up next Saturday night at 7 o'clock. The presentation of the Heisman Trophy Award from the Downtown Athletic Club in New York, right here on NBC. And we'll see if John Vaughn's good buddy from Michigan, Desmond Howard, captures the award. Marvin Allen is into the game and runs it out to the 18-yard line.
You know, talking about Desmond Howard, John Vaughn was telling us that they talk on the phone a lot, and we asked him, you know, does he plan to come out? And he said that he has not advised him and would not advise him whether or not to leave college like he did. He left as a sophomore. But he did say that Desmond is wondering, you know, asking him, what's it like? What's it like in the pros, and what was it like to come out early?
Vaughn and Desmond Howard worked together last summer in a Detroit program to help keep neighborhoods safe. And so they are very, very close friends. And it was a nice visit we had with John Vaughn the other day. But I just thought that was amazing that he left college so that he could play.
Get some playing time.
And where would he get his playing time? In the NFL. Gee, they must really be loaded up there in Michigan. It's a first down for the Patriots on that run by Vaughn. And they're out at the 19-yard line. McMurtry comes down the line in motion. Millen in trouble, and they get him for the sack. Donnell Thompson sacks Hugh Millen. We'll be back, but right now let's go to NFL Live in New York.
This is the completion of a tremendous drive by the San Diego Chargers. The flip from John Freese to Nate Lewis, 6-yard touchdown. It was the 18th play of an 80-yard march that included 2 fourth-down conversions along the way. They kept the ball for 12 minutes, and they lead 7-0 in the second over the Chiefs.
3-0 here in New England. The Patriots leading over the Indianapolis Colts. That man, Donnell Thompson, just sacked Hugh Millen back inside the Patriot 15-yard line at the 14. And here comes John Vaughn. And Vaughn slams out to the 18-yard line. All right, let's go to the starter 10-minute ticker right now. Houston leading. The Giants up over Philadelphia 7-0. Denver's come back in Cleveland to tie that game at 7-7. Other games on our starter 10-minute ticker. San Diego leading on a John Freese touchdown pass to Nate Lewis. Dallas up 10-0 over New Orleans. Beasley, what's happened to the Saints?
I tell you, they have just injuries. You know, they're without big Ironhead Hayward, and really since he got hurt and a couple of other injuries, that team has struggled. They're limping into the playoffs now.
Patriots on 3rd down now and long. 3rd down close to 11. 3 for 5 on 3rd down conversions. Millen in trouble again, and he will get dropped again. Jeff Harrod is in there along with Big John Hand back at the 6-yard line.
Now that's the second time that we've seen a Jeff Harrod blitz, and he's matched up with John Stevens. Take a look at it right there. Really didn't get the pull, didn't get the block, and that's what disrupted the entire pattern. That's the second time that confrontation has ended up closing up the hole or closing up a blocking scheme.
Suddenly, New England's gone real flat in this game. And McCarthy will be punting out of his end zone right on the back line. Sammy Martin is back deep. Check it, Verdun is back deep. Good punt by McCarthy at the 44-yard line. Verdun to the 50, and he's tackled there. And I believe that's Lockhart again, his second good open field tackle on special teams. Eugene Lockhart, 50-yard punt and a 6-yard return. 11:09 to go in the half. 3-0 New England.
Sports coverage of the National Football League is brought to you by Citizen Pro Master for professional use only. By Honda, who puts a driver's airbag on every new Accord, Civic, and Prelude and urges you to buckle up. By the complete line of Vicks Formula 44 cough medicine. And by the employee owners of Avis. We try harder.
Back here at Foxborough Stadium, best starting field position for Indianapolis right now in the game. Starting close to midfield, 49-yard line. Eric Dickerson is in the backfield. And gets the ball. And gets into Patriots territory down at the 47-yard line. A reminder that at the conclusion of today's game, we'll be presenting the Avis We Try Harder Award, which will be given to the game's MVP. Don't you feel, Beasley, that New England's gone flat in the game right now and Indianapolis is hanging in there?
They really have. The last opportunity, they basically took the stick shift and put the offense in reverse and moved steadily backward. Now, a big play here. I think Indianapolis is one good, solid play away from changing momentum.
Second down 6 at the 47-yard line. George gets some time, and the ball is knocked down by Eugene Lockhart. That's 3 good plays by Lockhart in the game as they try to slip one in there to the tight end, Bob Marasco.
Lockhart has always been an active player. When he was with the Cowboys, they called him Gene, the hitting machine. He hits the ball this time. He's made some great plays on special teams. That's the type of contribution they need. This kid's all over the place.
And now it is 3rd down and 6. Well, George had some pretty good time that time. He doesn't take a deep drop at all. Really a short drop, and the ball comes out of there very quickly.
That's one problem that he has. People know he's going to throw medium routes, and he's going to drop back short because he hasn't had the time to go for the deep ones downfield.
Shotgun and a 4 wide receiver set. George lets it go, and it is juggled, and they can't pull it down. Verdun battled with Maurice Hurst. And it is incomplete, and it will bring up 4th down, and they waste very good field position.
Classic battle. I've got an athlete, you've got an athlete. You see Jeff George try to look him off. It's man-for-man coverage. My guy, your guy. Let's throw it up and see who comes up with it. Maurice Hurst with a great play knocking the ball down.
Ron Stark again will punt. Gee, what a shame for Indianapolis. Starting at the midfield stripe, and they do not come up with anything out of that drive at all. No drive at all. Didn't even get a first down. Henderson stands right at the 10-yard line. Low snap. Stark again will try and land it. He does land it at the 1, but the Colts get trapped in the end zone and can't knock it back. Touchback, and the ball out to the 20-yard line. 46-yard punt. And New England gets the ball back, leading 3-0 here in the first half. Jim Donovan and Beasley Reese. New England has the ball starting at their own 20-yard line. Defensive back Michael Ball has a shoulder injury for the Colts. Questionable return for him. And we'll tell you about a Patriots injury along their offensive line after the first play here. Millen drops. Boy, delivers one sky high over the head of Greg McMurtry. Injured on the last series for the New England offense was offensive lineman Danny Villa with an ankle problem. So taking his spot now is John Melander.
That'll have some wide-reaching effect also because Danny Villa is very important on the special teams when it comes to snapping the ball, snapping for punts and snapping for some field goals. 2 weeks ago against Buffalo, they had a punt and a field goal block because of high and questionable snaps. We'll see how that affects them.
2nd down at 10. The backfield again, that's John Stevens lining up at fullback. Leonard Russell at tailback, the first time they've done that this season. Millen fakes one way. And again is high and over the head of Marv Cook. And it is third down, and Millen is way off on his throwing after getting off to a good start. Here's the starter 10-minute ticker right now. No changes from the last time we showed you the 10-minute ticker. 7-0 Houston, 7-0 Giants, 7-7 in Cleveland as Elway threw a pass to Michael Young to tie that game up. But San Diego has jumped ahead of Kansas City in a shocker, 14-0. And the Chiefs, who have not nearly wrapped up anything as far as a playoff is concerned, need that victory badly. They'll have to come from way back this afternoon. And 3-0 here. New England leads on a Charlie Bauman 24-yard field goal. Millen away from pressure. He'll get sacked from behind. John Hand, the third Colts sack of New England quarterback Hugh Millen today.
You know, you have to make that one a coverage sack because that time the blocking was pretty good. Millen had a little time. You can't blame John Stevens for this one. This time, he steps up against Jeff Arad and blasts him. Great job by John Stevens, but the pocket just collapsed in the back. So you got to congratulate Stevens there. After getting beat twice on the blitz, he steps up on Arad that time and stops him. Still, Millen couldn't get away.
Again, McCarthy is in his own end zone, and Verdun waits at his own 45. Makes the catch at the 49. Picks the ball back up. And is trapped again. And Eugene Lockhart is one of the Patriots down there, along with Richard Tarditz, to make the stop for New England. But for the second drive in a row now, Indianapolis will have good field position. And we'll see if they can do anything with it when we come back. Indianapolis starts at their own 49-yard line. New England's been pinned back deep in their own territory the last two times they've had the ball and haven't been able to move it out, so they've been punting from their own end zone. Thus, Indianapolis is winning the field possession part of this game. Dickerson dancing at the line of scrimmage and wrapped up and brought down on the play by the Patriots' Brent Williams. Well, coming up next, what a ball game, Beasley. Game 2 of the doubleheader. The Buffalo Bills, champions of the AFC East, against the LA Raiders, 9-4, right after our ball game here in New England. They met last year in the AFC Championship game, and of course it was so one-sided for the Bills, and there you can see both they're headed back to the playoffs, it looks like, this year. In fact, the Raiders, with a win today, wrap up a playoff berth. Bills and Raiders next here on NBC. They don't get any bigger than that.
Doesn't get any bigger, and you got to think that they're thinking about last year, saying, man, we'll get you this time.
Dickerson on second down, has a block. Vincent Brown brings him down at the 45-yard line. And it will be third down and about 4 yards coming up for the Colts. 8.5 remaining here in the first half. Rick Venturi, 10 years with the Colts. That's the thing that surprised me so much about his situation is that he's been with the Colts organization 10 years.
He's been there longest tenure than anybody that's ever coached there other than 2 other people, so they like him.
And I'll tell you what, they have not been able to do anything with good field position, as you can see. Punt, 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 punt.
They would like for him to be the head coach if he could just win a couple of games. They really like him in the organization.
Jesse Hester down the line in motion. Third down and 4. The catch by Brooks. Can he get to the marker? It looks like he tiptoes right up to the 40-yard line and will have a Colts first down. The former Boston University Terrier, Bill Brooks. And it is a first down for the Colts.
You know, when we were talking to Jeff George, it's like you're talking to Dan Fouts. It's not like you're talking to a guy who's been getting killed in sacks and been only in the league for 2 years. Very confident, not overly confident, but you know, a guy that you feel comfortable. You feel like you've got the right guy quarterback if you're playing on that team.
First down, Indianapolis. They're third here in the game. They're at the New England 40-yard line. They trail 3-0. Dickerson slips out of a Singleton tackle, but gets down to the 35-yard line. Lepet comes up and helps out, and the secondary had to come up there and make the stop.
You know, if Dickerson history holds true, he's the kind of guy that'll work inside, then make one of those skips that gets him outside and turns on that classic, that beautiful Eric Dickerson stride that scares the death out of defenses. So far they've been able to corral him. But, man, he's the type of guy that can make one skip, and it's a race.
24 yards rushing for Dickerson. On 2nd and 5 from the New England 35. Gets a look to the outside, then he's brought down. Ray Agnew brings him down, helped out by Chris Singleton. Didn't he give you that little look to the outside that time?
Yeah, the little look. You know, and what people were questioning a few weeks ago before he had the big output last week was, can he take that look, see the opening? Does he still have the legs to bounce out there and go? And he had one great run last week that kind of made you say, yes, he can.
It's at the 34-yard line. The Colts are 1 for 5 on third down conversions, and they're looking another one in the face right now. 3rd and 4. Surprised not to see George in the shotgun here, but he's right underneath center. Good protection. Boy, he squeezes one right in there down the middle. The pass is caught at the 27-yard line. Jesse Hester has a first down.
That was a big league throw. When we were talking to Jesse Hester, he said, depending on the situation, I know what type of pass Jeff George is going to give me. Now, when he described this scenario that you're looking at here, he said it'll be a fastball. And look at the velocity on that shot. This guy's got all the tools. If they get where they can give him some time, Jeff George might start to make you pull out the eraser and change some records. This guy's got a lot of talent.
First down. Now he's 5 for 8 throwing the ball. And they're at the New England 27-yard line. Trailing in the game 3-0. Dumps it off. Dickerson's got running room. 20 into the 15-yard line. And he's close to another Colts first down.
You know, they're getting it going now, Jim. You brought up a point a few minutes ago about Jeff George staying under center, not being in the shotgun. When I was talking to Bill Jackson, he told me that he wants him to stay there, even on passing downs, because at least the threat of a run is present. That's why they're running the ball so much. They want him to, you know, they don't want the defensive linemen and linebackers to just tee off on him. They want the threat of a run with Eric in the backfield.
And it is a first down at the 15. Dickerson, he's got room to the outside. David one step to the outside and then brought it back up to the middle to the 13. See, it's so interesting watching him choose which direction he's going to take the play.
And he does it with that classic Dickerson skip. If you take a look as he comes, he skipped there, he sees the outside, skip back inside. And man, at some point, he makes that bounce, and then when it's the right bounce, he's gone.
Strapping up, ready to go again now. It's second down. We have 4:14 left here in the first half. 3-0 New England. But the Colts already very much in field goal range, but looking to take the lead inside the New England 15-yard line. George sidearms one for Hester. It's incomplete at the 4. With a flick of his wrist, he threw a bullet.
I mean, a flick of the wrist. Let's take a look at Hester here. It comes down. This ball is going to be coming. Wham! Right there. Now, that hit both hands. See, Jesse's got to pull that one down. You know, when Jesse was with the Raiders, he had a little reputation for dropping balls, but over the last 2 years, he has been fantastic. 102 catches over the last 2 years and 10 touchdowns. So he's proven that he'll catch the ball and he'll catch it in the crowd. We saw him make a good catch a few minutes ago, but I bet he'd like to have that last one over again.
Big play now, third down and 8. There goes Brooks down the line in motion. George has got plenty of time, and there is Hester for the touchdown. And so he came right back to Hester after he dropped the ball at the 4-yard line, a 13-yard touchdown pass, and the Colts lead.
I tell you, you could see it coming from up here. You could see it developing. Basically, it's a zone principle. That's why you see the players letting him go. Hester finds a soft spot. There's no way that Tim Gordon can get back in there in time to make the play. That's the type of play that, as a safety, you have to be reading the quarterback and kind of know, and you're breaking on the ball. You look at where he's throwing and break to the ball. That time, Tim had no chance getting inside.
10th touchdown pass of the season for Jeff George. Biasucci for the extra point out of the hold of punter Ron Stark. It's good. New England is not handling the expected to win label very well at all, are they? They trail 7-3 after the Hester touchdown catch.
I want you to play free safety looking at the quarterback, Jeff George. At this angle, you start to slide left a little bit. Now, you've got to break on this ball. It's a zone principle. Tim Gordon can't get back in there. The safety on the other side can't get him any help. Just a good play, right call against the right defense or wrong defense, depending on what team you're rooting for.
It was his 5th touchdown catch of the year for Hester, and his 10th touchdown pass of the season so far, and the Colts now lead 7-3. Coming up live from New York, the Domino's Pizza NFL Live halftime report. O.J. Simpson will be out in Los Angeles reporting on that Raider game. But Bill Parcells will be setting up that big game between the Bills and the Raiders coming up at halftime. And he'll be diagramming and dissecting what he expects the Bills and Raiders to be doing in that big one.
He was my coach with the Giants for 5 years, and let me tell you something, you don't want to miss that. When he gets on the board, boy, he can play with it. He was defensive coordinator and then head coach while I was there. And boy, he can work that. He can work that easily.
Indianapolis leading now, 7-3. Marvin Allen, 27-yard line, and brought down there. First down for New England at their 27-yard line. A little pushing and shoving off the pack as we go to our 10-minute ticker now. Philadelphia gets a Roger Ruzek field goal to make that 7-3 in that Giant game. Denver and Cleveland still knotted up, and Houston, remember, can wrap up the AFC Central, which they could have done for the last 3 weeks with a win today over Pittsburgh. Dallas now leading 10-0 over New Orleans, and Green Bay has lost their lead to Chicago, and it's 14-10. Well, what does Hugh Millen and the Patriots have to do right now to get loose and get their offense moving? They settled for a field goal on their first possession of the game, and since then, they have not been able to do anything. Play action fake. Millen throws it into the ground. Flag goes down. Let's see if he got roughed up or if the Patriots held him. That was Melander, the Patriots offensive lineman that was there. And it is going to be against New England. Holding against the Patriots. What's happened to this offense?
Well, they need to come up with something because more than just the offense, but as a team, this is a critical game for both of these organizations.
Holding, number 64 on the offense, 10 yards, repeat first down.
For the New England Patriots, if they lose a game that they're supposed to win, it really puts in question all the effort and the success and, you know, we're so close attitude that the people around here have started to take about the Patriots. And for the Colts, it's critical. And when you talk about, I mean, really critical because of jobs. Rick Venturi, his assistants, all the coaching staff, a lot of the players, they can gain a job by winning here, maybe winning in Tampa. Maybe they keep their jobs.
Now it's 1st and 20. Millen out to John Vaughn. He can't hang on at the 12-yard line. The Colts get on that football to see if maybe that it might have been a pass in the backwards direction and a live ball, but instead it's an incompleted pass. And it is 2nd down now and 20. And Beasley, all of a sudden, we are not seeing much of Russell and Stevens. We're seeing more of John Vaughn in the backfield.
Well, that's very true. And that time, Millen just had to get rid of that so quickly because Sam Clancy, Chip Banks, those guys were in there disrupting the timing. And that's something they can't afford right now. This is a very, very big play when it comes to big plays in the first half of a football game coming up.
2nd and 20. Millen's been 0 for his last 4. He's going to get hit. That's a loose ball. It's scooped up by Siragusa, and he's down at the 2-yard line, maybe even the 1. Tony Siragusa scoops up a loose ball and spikes it. And the Patriots fans, upset with this offense, now have to dig in at their own 1.
Well, this is a great shot at Siragusa coming around. And the surprising part is that it's front side when it comes to Chip Banks crashing on the inside there. Millen could actually see him coming. And normally you're able to tuck a ball away. I guess it was just as he was pulling the ball back. That's unfortunate for the Patriots. Siragusa, look what he found.
At the 1-yard line, Indianapolis will start after Siragusa. Tony Siragusa picks up the fumble. Chip Banks with the hit on Hugh Millen. And Rick Venturi's Colts have it 1st and goal at the 1. Tim Manoa and Eric Dickerson make up the backfield. And the Patriots, when Morosco, the Colts tight end, went in motion, the Patriots jumped across. They are pointing and saying that they were drawn across.
Well, I think what they're hoping is that they get a call that would suggest that the right tackle also moved, but I don't think that's the case. I believe that Andre Tippett came across when Bob Morosco went in motion.
Encroachment, number 56 on the defense, half the distance, still first down.
All right, good call, Beasley.
Yeah, but they get a big half the distance there. It's like, what is that, like an inch and a half?
Hey, the way their season has gone.
So why not encroach?
An inch and a half is a mile.
There's Bob Morosco moving. And, you know, Andre Tippett, that's just, you know, you're so intense. I mean, you're ready to go. You see anything flash, baby, you go.
So from inside the 1, it's 1st and goal. George gives, Dickerson scores. Touchdown, Indianapolis. They cash in 1 play after the Patriots fumble. That's only the 5th rushing touchdown scored against this Patriot defense this season. But after all, what the heck? They started at the 6-inch line.
You know what you hate as a defense? I mean, okay, you get scored on, that's one thing. But I hate it when a guy comes in there standing up and can flip the... You at least want him to have to dig and pull himself up off the ground. That's a good play, well executed, good run by Dickerson.
And now New England finds themselves in a lot of trouble. Stark holds for Biasucci and the extra point. Stark did a nice job to pull that ball around and get it down. The kick is good. Eric Dickerson goes 1 yard for a touchdown after a New England fumble. And the Colts lead 14-3. Tim Manoa leading the way. There's Eric Dickerson in for the touchdown, as Beasley said, standing and flipping the ball out rather casually. His 2nd rushing touchdown of the year.
And that's surprising for a guy that's put up the numbers like he has. But, you know, it's been a mixed, a lot of emotion and a tough season for Eric Dickerson. He came in thinking, you know, they'd go maybe be challenging for a wild card or something this year, as a lot of the Colts did. But, man, how things can change. And the real battle has been between the 2 people you just saw. Rick Venturi having to suspend what is supposed to be his star running back, his workhorse, as you see the horseshoe on his back. But that has not been the case. They're not really talking that much. But Rick Venturi's told us, as I told you earlier, he said, you don't have to talk to me, just play football. And that's what Eric Dickerson is doing right now. That's what he did last week.
Dean Biasucci to kick us away now with 3:23 remaining here in the first half. 14-3 Indianapolis. John Vaughn takes it at the 6-yard line. And Vaughn brings it up to the 30. He said he loves to run back kickoffs because at that point, all eyes are on him.
You know, he said he has total control when he's in that situation. Boy, you can tell that he's enthusiastic about it.
Now, here at Foxborough Stadium today, as you can see, it's me and Beasley and just a few of our friends. The pre-sale was only 20,000, maybe 21,000 for this game. Early this morning on a Boston talk show, Sam Jankovic, who runs this football operations here for the Patriots, said that he was embarrassed by the support that the team is getting today, and that his team deserves more from the football fans here in New England. McMurtry from Millen, first down out to the 45-yard line. And you know, that is true because they have played so hard and been a good show every weekend here at this stadium.
They really have. We were here 2 weeks ago with the Buffalo game, and man, it was like a playoff atmosphere.
First and 10 at the 45-yard line, right back up to the line of scrimmage. No huddle used by the Patriots. Here's Millen throwing, and that's going to be, is it Cook or is it the defensive player that has it? If they both have it, it would be for the Patriots, but they rule that it is picked off by John Baylor.
John Baylor with excellent position, excellent coverage. You know, Millen has been very, very good in this situation when they've come into that 2-minute offense, like a hurry-up offense. Cook, you know that Cook is going to do a medium route, is going to bounce in or out. Cook did a good job to almost try to make that thing look like a tie, because a tie goes to the offense. Let's take a look at it again, and you can just see, you know, good position by the defensive back.
And for the 3rd drive in a row now, or actually 3 out of the last 4 now have started for the Colts right at the 50-yard line. Their last drive started at the 1. New England, 2 consecutive turnovers. Here's Dickerson to the outside, and a nice play. Harry Colin comes up from that safety spot, and he didn't take any of the Dickerson moves.
You know, he did. Dickerson wanted to get outside that time. Colin played an excellent strong safety like we saw him do in the first quarter, coming up, maintaining the outside position, saying that if you get away from me, you'll have to do it to the inside. Dickerson forced the issue trying to get outside, and Colin made a good play.
There's Baylor, who set up the Colts with that interception, pulling the ball away from Marv Cook. 14-3 Indianapolis in the lead. Jeff George is going to let it run down to the 2-minute warning and go over to the sideline and confer with head coach Rick Venturi and Milt Jackson, his offensive coordinator, who sits upstairs. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. Yes, it is very surprising. The Indianapolis Colts lead over New England 14-3. We'll be right back. 2-minute mark remaining here in the first half. There's John Baylor, and see, he's describing Beasley to his teammates how he pulled that interception away from Marv Cook.
It was a huge play.
And sets the Colts up in great field position, although they lost yardage on first down. They're second down and long, and Dickerson is hit in the backfield by Fred Smerlis, and he rips him back. So they are going backwards rather than forwards, and they're back at the 46-yard line.
Penetration once again. Smerlis, the cagey veteran, breaking on the inside, and anytime you get penetration, it just destroys everything you're trying to do.
If I was New England, I'd call timeout. And they finally do. They just wasted about 15 seconds, though. They should have called timeout right after that play.
You even saw a couple of players motioning, are we going to do it? Looking back to the sideline. Didn't get it done.
Dick McPherson not managing the clock very well right there, so they let it run down to 1:39 because it would be third down and very, very long. And stop the clock, set yourself up in a good position to get the ball back from the Colts. Coming up at halftime now, it's the Domino's Pizza NFL Live halftime report. Bill Parcells will analyze and set you up previewing the big game coming up next year on NBC, the Buffalo Bills and the Los Angeles Raiders from the Coliseum. So Bill will take a look at what both teams have to do to win that football game and set you up with the keys in that game. Plus, they'll run down all the scores and highlights from the first half of actions and the games going around the NFL right now. Here in New England, it's 14-3. Jeff George puts the helmet back on. It is third down and 13 yards to go for a Colt first down. New England now has 2 timeouts left. Flip it off to Clarence Verdun, and he's going to run it. And it looks like the Patriots are going to run him out of bounds, which would stop the clock again. David Poole came up along with David Howard and knocked him out of bounds. No, they start the clock again with 1:29 left.
Nice little play here. Slide blocking by the offensive line. Everybody moving to the right. Verdun, I think, makes a mistake here by allowing himself to get out of bounds. He should have been tackled on the inside if he just wasn't thinking.
Well, the clock is running, and again, I can't understand why New England did not call a timeout once they saw that the clock was going to start again. Because now Indianapolis is just going to sit there, let the play clock run down as they are right now. Look at that time just escaping New England. This is amazing.
It really is.
They finally punted, as you saw, with 4 left on the play clock. Henderson catches at the 25 and gets out near the 30. First and 10 for the Patriots with 46 seconds left. But wouldn't you say about 25 seconds is gone now?
Well, you got to figure that they have decided to go in at 14-3. They aren't doing anything, no radical moves.
All right, on the 10-minute ticket right now around the NFL. Houston leading 10-0. The Giants 14-3 over Philadelphia. That big game in the NFC East. Denver and Cleveland tied. San Diego in what has to be a huge surprise so far this afternoon, leading 14-0. And here in New England, this is a pretty good surprise too. The Colts 14, the Patriots 3. 46 seconds left in the first half. New England has 2 timeouts. Millen, McMurtry, he's going to race out of bounds. A good play to the 42-yard line at a first down. But what a wise play by McMurtry.
Very smart. They are still in that hurry-up offense as Millen kind of shouts out direction. McMurtry playing very well along with Cook, and Millen doing a pretty good job. A couple of high passes.
Again, remember, Irving Fryer went out of this game throwing a block, trying to help McMurtry get some extra yardage on the Patriots' first possession. He has not come back. And another catch and drop. Rob Carpenter drops the ball.
That hurt.
He was wide open at the Colt 43-yard line, in and out of his hands.
And this is his big opportunity. He was just brought in, just activated, just told he'd get an opportunity. And that's a horrible drop. He could have caught it, stepped out of bounds.
I think he might have been looking for the sideline, took his eye off the ball.
Exactly. Wanted to step out, but just short-handed it just a little bit.
2nd and 10. Colts blitzing. And McMurtry catches. A good tackle by Eugene Daniel because they had sent so many players on that blitz that if he got by Daniels, he was gone. 24 seconds left. New England has to use a timeout. And they have 1 remaining. And they are out at their own 47-yard line. So they're down 14-3 to the Indianapolis Colts. They came out, took the lead 3-0 on a 24-yard field goal by Charlie Bauman. Indianapolis went in on a touchdown pass from Jeff George of 13 yards to Jesse Hester. Then New England fumbled on the ensuing offensive series. It was recovered by Tony Siragusa. 1 play later, Eric Dickerson goes in from inside the 1-yard line. And that's where we are, 14-3. Hugh Millen trying to at least salvage a field goal with what's left here in the first half, 24 seconds. You know, I think Beasley, they lost a lot when they lost Fryer. I mean, they've lost everything.
Well, they lost the guy that would get them, you know, 1 strike in position right now. They've done very well with the 2-minute offense, and that's what they've got to rely on right now. They probably have 2 or 3 plays called already right now.
3rd down and 5. They blitz again. Harrod was coming on a blitz. Millen is tackled by Harrod and helped out on the play by John Hand. That is the 4th sack of Hugh Millen this afternoon, but that guy, 54, Jeff Harrod, was blowing through there on the blitz.
He's been the guy that's mixed it up all game long. He's their leading tackler. He's their leading disruption guy. Look how happy he is right now. And John Stevens has done a pretty good job working against him. Let's see how he does this time. That's a super initial block. I mean, you can't blame Stevens there. Millen abandoned the play and stepped up into the sack that time. They'll have to take it inside and regroup.
Well, they are getting a chorus of boos from the crowd here at Foxborough Stadium. Jeff George and Rick Venturi, well done in the first half. They lead 14-3. George threw a touchdown pass. Dickerson ran one in from the 1-yard line. The Patriots played horribly, I think, in the second quarter. They were not good at all, so a major regroup session by McPherson in that locker room.
He'll have to get them on the inside, and, you know, they probably already have photos of formations and breakdowns from the crew that's up in the glass up here. Here's what we need to do. Now, for Jeff George, he's got to feel very good right now. I mean, this is a guy that's been in a lot of pain and had some downtime, but, boy, they are in control so far.
It's 14-3 here at the end of the first half at Foxborough Stadium. The New England Patriots, for the first time this year, expected to win this ball game against Indianapolis, but trailing at the half. Beecham Donovan along against Indianapolis, but trailing at the half. Beecham Donovan along with Beasley Reese. New England took the opening kickoff for the second half. John Vaughn ran it from a yard deep in his end zone out to the 25, and New England trailing 14-3 now will start play and start on the comeback trail here in the second half. From their own 25-yard line, Leonard Russell in the backfield. Busted play. Hugh Millen has to keep it as Leonard Russell went right by the handoff, and he ends up at the 24. Here are the Coors Light halftime numbers for you. Turnovers, the big category, Beasley. 2 for New England. They turn into Colts points.
No question. And as a matter of fact, those turnovers allowed the Colts to start most of their drives, you know, inside the 50-yard line, one from the 1-yard line. So you're playing on an unbalanced table when you do that. Field position is everything in this game.
2nd down and 11. New England loses 1. I don't know what happened on that play. It looked like Russell went wide, and Millen was expecting him to come right up the middle. And Millen had to eat the ball for a 1-yard loss. A rollout by Hugh Millen. He's in trouble. He is tackled back at the 23-yard line. Donnell Thompson is over there to bring him down. That's the 5th time Millen's been sacked today.
Donnell Thompson, and the defense just recognized this thing a little bit late, but look at the footwork by Donnell Thompson. Now, that's a big man. Getting good position, actually knocking the ball out. Donnell Thompson is quite a story. He's been with that team a long time, in his 11th season right now. Super athlete, big man to match his number. You know, he just bought a bunch of McDonald's franchises down in Atlanta, and when he gets through playing, He plans to sack up some burgers.
3rd down and 13. New England moved on the left side. Marv Cook moved. Millen's rolling out and running with the ball. He's at the 26, and he is down. Jeff Harrod is over there on the tackle. What a horrible opening offensive series for New England. A busted play, a rollout pass that didn't work, and now Marv Cook moved on the line of scrimmage. They did not blow the play dead, and maybe they're charging that Indianapolis jumped. But Cook definitely moved on the left side. John Hand was also over there on the play. Again, as they sort out the penalty situation, let's go back early in the game. New England's first offensive possession, they were moving very well, got down inside the 10-yard line of Indianapolis, and did not get a first down on 3rd down and 1 from the 5-yard line. They opted to kick a field goal, and it just seems from that point on, and just a couple of plays earlier in the drive, Irving Fryer went out injured after a big pass play to Greg McMurtry. Now, what in tarnation has taken so long on this penalty here?
Well, I think we've got an argument among the officials. One said, I'm sure about this. Let's find out.
Illegal procedure. 2 men moving on the offense. Encroachment, invasion of the neutral zone on the defense. The penalties offset. Repeat 3rd down.
So we're going to do that 3rd down play all over again. At the 23-yard line is where the play will begin. Hand reacted to the movement by Marv Cook. And the ball is at the 23-yard line. 3rd down and 13 now. We'll redo the 3rd down play on the offsetting penalty situation. Shotgun for Hugh Millen. Millen fires for McMurtry. He makes the catch but cannot hang on at the 48-yard line. Hit hard by Pryor. And Good in there to make the hit. What a big hit on McMurtry.
Well, that's what they miss without Pryor. I mean, this guy is all over the place. The long runs, he makes the tackles. The long pass plays, he's in position. Look at the break on the ball. And this is an injured guy. You know, I was down on the field with him. He said he's got a pulled abdominal muscle. He said it still hurts. He's got a pulled groin. It still hurts. He told me he was going to try to go, and he's going pretty well.
McCarthy to punt. Incidentally, Danny Villa and Irving Fryer are injured and will not be back here this afternoon. Both injured in the first half. There's a flag on this punt. A fair catch by Clarence Verdun out at the 33-yard line. That's the bad news for New England. Not only the scoreboard situation, but losing Villa and Irving Fryer. And it's against New England. Now, the Colts would have the ball at their own 34-yard line if they decided to decline the penalty, but it looks like they are going to march the Patriots
Not
back.
enough men on the line of scrimmage on the kicking team. 5-yard penalty. Repeat 4th down.
I see this is another opportunity for them to gather up some field position. Verdun right now is standing on his own 45-yard line. He'll probably catch this punt about the 40. So it's a great opportunity. Once again, the field position. This is carrying over from the first half now with New England in bad spots.
And, of course, Villa, who normally snaps on punts, is out injured, so Gannon is snapping, and another flag goes down. Verdun catches the ball at the 44. Tries to get outside. Tardis makes a nice ankle tackle back at the 40-yard line. Richard Tardis, 38-yard punt, a -5 yards on the return. But as I told you, another flag was thrown as soon as the ball was snapped. Oh, my heavens, it's coming back again. Well, New England thought their game last week against Denver was their worst showing of the season. They
Illegal
are rivaling
formation.
that today.
Not enough men on the line of scrimmage on the kicking team.
Same penalty.
5-yard penalty.
Same penalty.
Repeat 4th down.
And you know what? A lot of people don't realize is this is murder for the guys that are covering the ticks.
They do not have enough men on the line of scrimmage.
You can count them off right there. They don't have enough on the line of scrimmage. And now one thing to note is that the defensive players that are on the punt coverage team, and that's normally what you do, is you line up a lot of defensive backs and linebackers. This is their third sprint, full speed, with people blocking them down the field. It's the type of thing that just runs you out of gas for the rest of the game.
So for the third time now, McCarthy will punt from inside his end zone. Ball hits inside the 45-yard line. Here's Verdun. Good coverage by the Patriots. Verdun is brought down at the 44-yard line. Next Saturday, it's a special afternoon of great NFL action on NBC, beginning at 3:30 Eastern with NFL Live. And on NFL Live, O.J. Simpson and Bill Walsh will be out in San Francisco, taking a look at the 49ers and what they must do to try and make the playoffs, if it is available to them. Then, coming up after that, after NFL Live, Kansas City and San Francisco. And a big ball game. The Chiefs losing today to San Diego, and the 49ers battling to hang in there for a playoff spot in the NFC, trying to grab a wild card position. So it's a big Saturday next Saturday on NBC.
It really is. And take a look at where they start once again for the Colts. They've averaged starting on their own 47. You'd like that as an offensive coordinator.
Eric Dickerson is hit by Vincent Brown on a good tackle, as Dickerson took it wide left and then cut it into the middle, and that's where Brown was.
Now, one thing about Vincent Brown, he is in the scheme of this, what they call the Denver defense, the 30 defense, he is the designated hitter. The defensive linemen and the other linebackers have responsibilities. They have people to grab and control and keep them off of Brown, and that's why he's got a lot of tackles. And, you know, it's quite an honor for a defensive coordinator to designate you as the guy who will make the hit.
Second down 10. George has had pretty good time to throw today, and when he does get time, he's been on the spot, and he is there to his tight end, Pat Beach, for his first catch of the day, and that should be enough for an Indianapolis first down. Now it's time for the Hertz 10-minute ticker this afternoon. The Giants leading the Eagles 14-10. Still tied in Cleveland, 7-7. Our other games this afternoon, San Diego leading, Dallas leading over New Orleans 13-7 as the Saints are fading fast, and Chicago, in a game that's gone back and forth all afternoon long, they lead Green Bay 21-13. 14-3 the Colts over the Patriots here in Foxborough. Here's Dickerson on first down. Now that's a short game, but Beasley, let me run this by you now. He hasn't had a big run today, Dickerson, but the very fact that he is running just a little bit has, I think, given George more time to throw the ball.
You know, that's what they talked about coming into this game. They want that constant threat. You know, George is not going to line up a third and long. You'll notice, you'll say, why isn't he in the shotgun? They want the threat of Dickerson running present, ever present. So far, they've been able to maintain that, and you are right. It's taken away from some of their ability to blitz and pressure.
Here comes Dickerson again. This time he gets running room and puts his head down at the 35-yard line. If they mark him there, he'll be 1 yard shy of a first down.
That was a super run that time. It came straight at us. You could get a better feel for how quickly the line is pulling out there and how Dickerson slices. It looks like that Tim Gordon may be shaken up just a little bit.
He's the player that went head-to-head with Dickerson when Dickerson put his head down for that extra yard. So Tim Gordon is down injured on the field. Eric Dickerson is starting to get warmed up here in the second half. The Colts lead the Patriots 14-3.
NBC Sports coverage of the National Football League is brought to you by Hertz. We never forget who made us #1. We're Hertz. We're America's wheels. By Pontiac and your local Pontiac dealer. We build excitement. By First Brands Corporation, makers of STP oil treatment. And by Kentucky Fried Chicken. Nobody's cooking like today's KFC.
Jim Donovan along with Beasley Reese. Injury along the Indianapolis Colts offensive line. Randy Dixon's in the locker room getting checked out. He's got a contusion on his leg. They have only 5 offensive linemen available right now. They're all in the game. Looked like the Patriots came across and made contact. The flag went down. It might have been Tim Goad, 72, that came across the line of scrimmage. We'll check out the call. If it is on New England, it's a first down for Indianapolis. Here it is.
Offside, number 90 on the defense. 5 yards, first down.
All right, they give it to Garen
So they're
Veras.
calling Garen Veras on that one. From here, it did look like it was Tim. Maybe they were standing right next to each other.
He's saying it's 72. See, it's 72 right there. It's pretty obvious.
I think it was really like a pick-em, you know, but both of them kind of went in unison, and they picked them.
Well, the most important factor is that it gives the Colts a first down. They're near the New England 30-yard line. They lead 14-3. We have 10:06 to go, third quarter. George pump fakes, and he's looking for Hester. There's a flag down, and Hester has the ball knocked away. Tim Gordon knocked the ball away. There was a flag thrown at the 15-yard line, and we'll wait on that call. That should be interesting because it involves Hester and the man that was playing him. And it's against New England on that pump fake by George.
That's a call that you don't see a lot anymore. You know, you can't touch a receiver after that 5-yard area. And I think what happened is it was a double route. So when the receiver, Jesse Hester, made the one fake, and then the defender saw...
Number 37 on the defense, 5 yards, automatic first down.
And then Maurice Hurst found out that he was wrong on the first cut. He just grabbed him to prevent the touchdown, which is probably a pretty smart move here. There's the pump. That was like a quick out. Hurst saw that he was wrong and just grabbed him. Probably a very smart move. At least they get to line up and play again.
First down now at the 25-yard line. Dickerson outside, stopped. Hurst came up from the corner to make the play. It was well stretched out to the outside by the New England defense.
We saw Tim Gordon come up and take Dickerson on shoulder to shoulder. That time, Maurice Hurst comes up and submarines below his knee, which is probably a pretty smart move. Gordon is okay. He's back in the game. But you have to remember that, you know, we know Dickerson as the flashy runner, but this is a man that weighs 225, 6'3", 225, 230. Big fellow.
No gain on that play. Second down and 10. From the New England 25-yard line, Tim Manoa and Dickerson in a split in the backfield. Back they go to Eric Dickerson. There's Gordon again. Makes the tackle. Is he like a spy to him, Beasley? Because I noticed that Gordon's coming up one-on-one on him all the time.
Well, Gordon is the strong safety, so it's ending up that way. They're running, basically, the Indianapolis offense is not very complicated. They're running the same play, kind of an off-tackle version of the OT. Let's take a look at the offensive line play. You see the two backside linemen try to pull. Penetration messes it up a little bit. And Tim Gordon is simply the strong safety. He's the guy that ends up across the line to force it. As a result, he's got his hands on Eric Dickerson all day.
Third down and 9. Hester goes down in motion. George throws it incomplete. It was in the direction of Jesse Hester, but on the wrong side. Jerome Henderson was on the coverage at the 18-yard line, and the Colts will have to try and settle for a field goal now.
Let's pick up the rush here. You see Tippett coming up to the outside, and George really in a rhythm move as everything collapses just as he lets it go, and that's been what he's faced all season long. You know, we asked him how do you feel, all of the sacks, and he said, man, everything hurts. He said, especially my back. I've been on my back a lot. And, you know, he actually said that it takes him till Friday sometimes to recover. So this is a guy that's been beaten up a lot.
Biasucci will attempt a 43-yard field goal. Again, Stark juggles the snap, and it's wide left. No good. He's had a very spotty season, has Biasucci. There might have been a problem on the snap that threw that whole placement off. We'll be right back to New England.
Look for the stars, and you'll find...
8 minutes and 24 seconds remaining here in the third quarter after the missed field goal by Dean Biasucci. New England has the ball short of their own 25-yard line. And on first down, Leonard Russell got through a hole. Russell running the ball out to the 35 to the 38-yard line. And a first down for the Patriots. And And that's been the first good play that they have had in a long, long time.
That's exactly what they're looking for. They're looking for their big guy, Leonard Russell, and to get that running game going. Nice break there. Maybe they'll get something moving.
You know, I was wondering if maybe this new backfield of Russell and Stevens might have thrown them off a little bit because they're really off their stride.
What? It really may have, and what they said they would do is that they would try it. If it didn't work, I told you in the open, they go to a one-back set, and that's what you're looking at right now.
First down, Russell again, and a good hole off the left side. They're out near the 44-yard line. Again, let's recap it for you. New England trailed 14-3 at the half. Indianapolis then kicked the field goal by Dean Biasucci, but it was wide left. But let's go back to that field goal and watch Ron Stark. Does a good job to get the ball down.
It was low and inside is the most difficult place for the holder to get it up and back out there. If you remember, in the opener, Biasucci missed 4 field goals, and that's really contributed to their loss in the opener.
Second down. Incomplete to Ben Coates, right on his fingertips at the 49-yard line. That is the second pure drop today by a New England receiver.
And that was a great read. You know, they saw the opening. It could have been an audible. It was such a quick play that sometimes that comes when they see something. Maybe they see the onslaught of a blitz or something like that. And I tell you, that one would have been good. He could run for a while with that one. Take a look at the position he was in.
The rookie tight end, Ben Coates, out of the lineup right now. And it is third down and 4 for New England. They're at their own 44-yard line. 7:09 to go, third quarter. They trail the Colts 14-3. A high snap, a big rush, and a stretch and catch by Michael Timpson and a first down. And he got about 3 or 4 extra yards on the play, too, as he wasn't touched on the play and then finally ran it out of bounds.
What a throw, what a big catch, what a big opportunity. Timpson is the guy, if you remember, stepping in for Irving Fryer. And, man, his number's called, and he comes up big. This is a very, very critical drive for New England. They got to get something going. That's a big league catch. That's a major catch right there.
You know, it was Fred Smirlis on the New England bench that waved to Timpson, get up and run. The play isn't over, and he did. And he got about 4 extra yards. Now, Patriots on the move. 2 consecutive first downs. Inside the 45 of Indianapolis. The running play to Russell. Nowhere. Dwayne Bickett and Jeff Harrod make the tackle on the play of Leonard Russell. And it will be second down and 10. Now let's check the Hertz 10-minute ticker. Houston looks like they're going to clinch today, Beasley. They lead at home against Pittsburgh. Giants hanging on to a 14-10 lead. Still 7-7 in Cleveland between the Broncos and Browns. And all of those scores holding firm, too. And here in New England, 14-3. Indianapolis leading over New England in the third quarter. Millen to pass, a blitz. He dumps it to Cook. He catches it at the 40 and is hit hard. The ball is stolen away by Mike Pryor, but the officials are ruling that Marv Cook, though he doesn't look very good right now, did have enough of the football, and the play was over by the time Pryor took it away.
But you see what happens when Mike Pryor is in that secondary, though. I mean, things start to happen. Look at him at free safety. Instantly, he recognizes where the ball is going. I mean, he's all over that thing. How close is it? No, that's Cook's ball, and it's down right there.
And now Marv Cook, I notice, is being helped over to the New England sideline. If Cook can't come back, they will have lost their entire receiving crew, really, because Fryer and Cook has been the entire attack so far for New England through the air. And now the Patriots must call a timeout.
That's very true. You see Cook, you see Pryor.
Well, it took them so long to decide to get Cook off the field that the clock to start the next play had begun and was running out on them. And so they were forced to use a timeout. We'll be right back. Is in some pain on the New England sideline. It looks like he jammed his hand on that tackle by Mike Pryor. Incidentally, New England was not charged with a timeout. It was an injury timeout, so the officials allowed Cook off the field. Millen now, back to pass, hit, ball loose, fumble is picked up. There's flags down as the Colts look like they came across the line of scrimmage way too early on the snap.
Left side of the line they got a little too much of a timing deal there. A little bit of a jump on the left side.
All right, we do not have a call yet saying, hey, fellas, get out of the way. I have to be on TV right now and tell them what the penalty is.
My preliminary call would be John Hand and perhaps Jeff
Offsides, number 78 on the defense. 5-yard penalty. Repeat, third down.
That's the first penalty today on Indianapolis.
Let's see if we can pick it up. Left side, there's Big John Hand. There's Jeff Arad, but it was John that initiated all of the movement. Big John.
Do you think there was a blitz on that play, Beasley, or what?
Oh, yeah, Jeff Jeff was on the way.
Yes, he was. Well, that's a big penalty because now it's 3rd down and 1 for New England rather than 3rd and 6. Stevens is in as the blocking back for Leonard Russell. Stevens gets it, first down, Patriots. John Stevens, the first man through on that play, carries the ball for a Patriot first down.
And you know, the nice thing about this is that when you've got both of those guys in the backfield, they're loading up for Stevens to block and for Russell to dive. You see the great fake acted out by Russell, but lo and behold, it was Big John that had the ball and picked up the first. That's the diversion. That's the nice part about that combination in the backfield together.
This is the best drive for the Patriots since their opening drive of the game, which ended on a field goal. They trail 14-3. We're down to 4:02 left here in the 3rd quarter. Miller gets a lot of time, throwing deep for Stevens, and it will be intercepted. His second of the day. John Baylor on a deflection. There's a flag down as Baylor brings it down to the 15-yard line. Then there is another flag thrown down. Dwayne Pickett appeared to be the player who ran down on coverage with Stevens and tipped the ball up in the air. Baylor then went for it, intercepted it, which would be his second down at the 1-yard line. Then he got up and ran it out close to the 15, and there were flags thrown down on the play. Here's the calls. Holding against New England, and then a personal foul against Indianapolis. Dick McPherson thought that he was probably moving in for some kind of points on this drive. But now it blows up in the Patriots' face. Stan Kemp. Boy, Beasley, a lot of conferences with this crew here today. Really, I mean, this is... you just make the call and let's go here. But they are constantly going over this situation. This has got to be about the 6th or 7th conference.
And every time it's been, you know, you can see one guy talking, another guy shaking his hand, no, that's not it. And
Stan Kemp, the referee, checking with his crew. Here's the call.
Holding number 64 on the offensive team. That penalty is declined after the interception. We have a personal foul on number 44 on the passing team. 15 yards, first down.
All right, so initially his preliminary signal was wrong, and we'll take a look at the play right now.
The personal foul, when John Stevens came back after the interception was made, and we see Bickett with a great, now he's 6'5". Bickett is 6'5", so he's able to put his hands up there, and that's a great play by running to the ball. Now, keep watching right here, because you will see the wrap in the head right there. That's the personal foul.
And we'll be right back to New England after this timeout. It tipped the ball up in the air, allowing John Baylor to intercept away from John Stevens. Stevens came down the field, committed a personal foul on a high head hit on Baylor. And Indianapolis has the ball. It's incomplete to Jesse Hester. Vincent Brown was on the coverage. Let's go to New York right now for an NFL Live update. Here's Bob.
And Houston extends its lead to 17-3 at home over the Steelers. Here's Haywood Jeffries with the backpedaling catch on the 16-yarder from Warren Moon. It caps a 6-play, 94-yard drive. Houston might finally clinch that long-awaited outright title in the AFC Central, leading 17-3 at home in the 3rd.
I was beginning to wonder about Houston, whether or not they were ever going to be able to clinch that division. Right now, they are in their best spot to do it today. Second down and 10. Dickerson runs, and the New England defense is going to take it upon their shoulders, I think, to try and get this team back into the game. Hard hits by Gordon and Singleton on Dickerson.
The gang was all here. Everybody was there to make the play. Dickerson is running very, very hard. To his credit, he's not getting much air, much space. But you look at Singleton, there comes Gordon, there's Tippett, everybody, the gang's all there.
Now a big play for the Patriots defense as it's 3rd down and 7. The ball resting at the 33-yard line of Indianapolis. George sets up and throws, and wide open is Bill Brooks, and he's got running room to the middle. 25-yard line of New England, ripped down at the 22. First down, Colts, 45-yard pass play.
You know, once again, that's one of the special qualities of Jeff George. Watch the throw. He's not going to set and do all kinds of things. That's nothing but body. The way he's built, he can just sling it out there. And, man, what can you say about Brooks? He is he's one of the top receivers in Colt history. And just a super play there at just the right time.
Mickey Washington came back to make the tackle on the play. It's at the 21-yard line of New England. A good day for Bill Brooks. But that was the big play. 45 yards. First down, Dickerson. And he leans on the pack and gets some extra yards down to the 17-yard line. Lippett and Lockhart tackle for the Patriots.
Everybody's effort for Indianapolis has been exemplary, especially Eric Dickerson. Only 40 yards, but, man, every one of them has been workhorse-type yardage. He has really worked hard for his coach and his team so far today. Jeff George has been beautiful, and they get some big plays when they need them.
Second down and 7. Back to Dickerson again, and Lockhart makes the tackle on the play. Well, as they look out on the field here today, it is a perfect playing field that they are playing on, and that's been a big story here in New England. Grass for the first time ever here at this stadium. They had to rip it up after the November 12th date that the Patriots played against Miami. George Toma, and I believe that's him, there he is with the white hat on. He was brought in here to sort out the field problems, and he has basically lived here in New England the rest of the season, and he has put together a beautiful playing field for them. And he'll be leaving New England right after their game today, as they will have played their last home game. Here's 3rd down. Jeff George steps up, and they get him for the first time. Andre Tippett got the big sack, and they'll have to settle for a field goal.
Well, this is still a bit of an accomplishment for Indianapolis. I mean, for them to be just giving up 1 sack so far is pretty good, because this guy has been on the turf all season long. They finally got to him this time. Look at that. 47 times, 410 yards in the negative, and a club record.
A 40-yard field goal attempt. Biasucci missed earlier. Right down the middle, and plenty long enough, and it is good. 17-3. New England falls 2 touchdowns behind now. The Indianapolis Colts with 32 seconds remaining. Incidentally, the crowd figure has just been given to us. Just over 20,000 here today. Just over 20,000 at Foxborough Stadium today. 17-3 Indianapolis. New England's got some big problems now, Beasley.
You know, they really do. And you talk about that 20,000 figure. Donnell Thompson, the fine defensive end for the Colts, was telling me as they were boarding the bus to come over here that they get 20,000 back in North Carolina for a high school game. He was really worried about this being a really slow day, a slow game.
All right, let's go around the league right now and check in on the scores from the other games. Houston clinches today the AFC Central if they win, and they are leading. The Giants have been leading all day, now by 4 points. Denver and Cleveland have gone to the 4th quarter tied 7-7. Kansas City has finally gotten a field goal, but boy, that's a game the Chiefs need against San Diego. New Orleans has shot ahead of Dallas 14-13 as New Orleans is trying to wrap up the NFC West. Chicago leads Green Bay 27-13. And the Indianapolis Colts trying to get their 2nd win of the year lead here with 32 seconds remaining in the third quarter over the New England Patriots, 17-3. The Patriots have 4 wins on the year. Biasucci to kick after he hit a 40-yard field goal. John Vaughn and Marvin Allen are back deep. Allen takes it on the run and is out to the 27-yard line.
Driven out of bounds.
So there he is, the turf doctor, George Toma, who's come in here today, and not just today, but for the last 5 or 6 weeks.
And that's exactly where, you know, he's a turf nut. I was down before the game, and he and I
I'm sure he'd appreciate that.
Yeah. We got on our knees, and he pulled out a little pocket knife and started digging up the ground to show me the actual configuration of the field. And look at it. It's gorgeous, and they've had a lot of trouble with it. He also told me after this game they're going to dig it up, leave it dirt for the winter, and then replant everything.
They're going to replant it again?
Replant it again.
Wow. 25 seconds remaining here in the third quarter. New England trailing 17-3. Millen, short pass. McMurtry catches to the 32-yard line.
Well, they're in that hurry-up offense again. McMurtry has really risen to the cause. He's made some, you know, he's made some real big catches in the absence of Irving Fryer. And I guess if, you know, when you don't have your strike guy, your big strike, your big hit guy, and you need a big hit, you've got a problem.
Well, the New England Patriots were trying to get that playoff before the end of the third quarter. But like most things today for them, it did not succeed. We'll be right back after these messages from your local station. Go to the final quarter, everybody. Jim Donovan and Beasley Reese. Indianapolis has only tasted victory once this year. That came at the Meadowlands against the Jets, 28-27. And they lead going into the final quarter now, 17-3 over the New England Patriots, who are looking for their 5th win of the season. Second down. Millen, happy feet in the pocket, gets out of there. Now he's looking for someone to go long. He wants Cook there. He's got it. Breaks the tackle. And he's to the 20-yard line. A 48-yard pass play to the Indianapolis 19.
Everybody did the best job available. It was, Millen was beautiful, posturing himself to get to a spot where he could throw the ball. One thing about that man, Marv Cook, he's automatic. You put it there, he'll be the athlete that brings it down. That's exactly what they needed.
Indianapolis could not get themselves settled down because New England was going to go up no huddle, and so they call a timeout. A timeout by the Colts with 14:23 left here in regulation. Here's the play.
Jim, what a major play. Now look, as everything collapses around him, he finds a place to, and then starts shouting instructions. Look at that follow-through. He left that hand down. He knew that was a good throw. Let's take a look at it this time. All right, let's find a spot. Let's find a spot. Now, go deep, go deep. The step and throw, and Marv Cook. I've got 2 athletes. Who's going to catch it? My guy caught it. Look at Marv Cook. That's a great play.
It is the longest reception of Cook's career, 48 yards, down to the 19-yard line. So here come the Patriots. One thing in their column, and to their credit, is that they have always seemed to save their best for the fourth quarter. They have had some unbelievable finishes this year. Most have been heartbreaking. Some have been very thrilling, but they've always been exciting. Marv Cook
taking a break.
Yeah, he bundles up. Remember, he took a hit on his hand.
That's right.
The last time that the Patriots had the ball. 19-yard line. First down. Down by 14 points. 17-3. Millen shovels it out of there, and it's incomplete. He tried to get it to John Stevens. He felt the pressure coming in the pocket and then dumped it out to Stevens. It is an incompleted pass.
Well, it's time for the offensive line to answer the call now. Elbert, Chilton, all of those guys, it's time to give him some time, Mr. Armstrong. They're trying to get it. Now take a look at the wide receivers. Look at Timpson over in the corner saying, hey, throw it to me. Oh, my goodness gracious. Well, he couldn't throw it to you, buddy. He was preoccupied.
Second down and 10. Shotgun and a blitz by Indianapolis. Millen unloads it, and Coates cannot hang on. At the 15-yard line, there's a flag down.
Well, this is one that Ben Coates is going to lie up late tonight and think about. He's dropped 2. That one was right there also.
Well, it wouldn't have mattered. It's coming back.
I guess he knew that.
John Baylor was the man from the secondary, was coming through on the blitz, and he gets up a little sore on it. Yeah, sore on his leg. He's had a good day. 2 interceptions on the day for Baylor. Now the call from Stan Kemp.
Illegal motion, number 78 on the offense. 5-yard penalty. Repeat, second down.
Bruce Armstrong is hit with the penalty. 5 yards, making it 2nd down and 15, and it's back to the 23-yard line. New England must get some points on this drive.
Well, the call, Jim, is to the offensive line. Now, you take a look at that down and distance, you know that the D-line and maybe even Jeff Harrod, they're going to be bringing it this time. They know what they have to do, so we'll see what the offensive line for New England does here.
Stevens and Russell are in the backfield. Play action fake to Russell. Millen's got all kinds of time. It's caught. It's McMurtry. He's at the 1-yard line. yards, 1st and goal, Patriots.
Well, they answered the call. They gave him all the time that he needed. McMurtry, once again, was perfect. I mean, this guy's made some catches today just when it was needed. You know, the play-action fake, that's a great call also because it gives him a little extra time. And now look at McMurtry all alone, makes the catch, and then stretches out, tries to get it in. That's a great play, just the right time.
7 catches on the day for McMurtry. And 110 yards in receiving yardage. And now for the 2nd time on this defensive series, the Colts are going to use a timeout. They are only left with 1 now in the game. There's McMurtry. He goes over to the Patriots sideline after making that play. 7 catches, as I said, 110 yards, a career high for McMurtry, who has to fill the void with Irving Fryer gone for the day.
That is so true. I mean, somebody's got to get over 100 yards. I mean, you got to have it in a game like this. And look at the concentration, man. He looked, there was no fumbling and fumbling. He looked that right in, brought it up, and stretched.
So the ball will be at the 1-yard line when we set play back in. Now remember, coming up, more great football. Wow, what a game coming up from the Coliseum, the Buffalo Bills and the Los Angeles Raiders. Raiders wrap up a playoff spot with a win today over Buffalo. Remember, they lost in Buffalo in the AFC Championship game last year, 51-3. There's the playoff picture in the AFC. The Bills are in. The Raiders can get in with a win today. That's next year on NBC. 1st and goal at the 1-yard line. New England down by 2 touchdowns. Stevens to the top. Did he get it? Yes. Touchdown, New England. Very much back in the game now.
And I'm glad to see it, and I'm sure that everybody's glad to see it if you're a Patriot fan. And he carries that ball with him. You notice that he doesn't pitch that to the officials. He carries it back. I bet that ball means something. It's his entry back in.
Did he get in?
I think he got in.
You think he got in? Charlie Bauman will attempt the extra point to make the difference 7 points. Hodson holds, kicks good. 13 minutes and 30 seconds remaining. Regulation time. John Stevens scores a touchdown. New England is down by 7.
National Football League is brought to you by the new Mazda. Mazda, it just feels right. By the Card, the American Express card. Don't leave home without it. By Canon, the official camcorder of Little League Baseball. And by Budweiser, the king of beers. With that clean, crisp, cold taste, nothing beats a Bud.
The New England Patriots are going to reward the 21,000 who are here today at Foxborough Stadium with a pretty good ball game now. It is 17-10. Indianapolis in the lead after John Stevens scored from the 1-yard line to get New England back in it here in the 4th quarter.
You know, talking to some of the Patriot players during the week, they recognized there wouldn't be a lot of people here, but they said it would be the faithful, and they are loud and they are into it.
Sammy Martin will accept the ball at the 5-yard line for Indianapolis. And the former Patriot finds some room and out to the 34 where he is brought down. New England, as I said to you a few moments ago, before Stevens went in for the touchdown, they have had some great finishes this year. Down to the wire. These are games decided inside the last minute of play this year. That's amazing that they have played that many. And as you can see, they went through a stretch there where they lost 1, 2, 3, 4 in a row. One of them on the last second to the Jets. They came back and beat Buffalo 16-13, hanging on with a big play in the last minute. And now they trail Indianapolis 17-10. Jeff George setting up out of the backfield. Dickerson to the 40, to the 45, and a first down out near the 48-yard line. Let's go to New York right now. NFL Live update. Here's Bob.
All right, Jim, the Chiefs are back in it at Arrowhead after this 1-yard run by Barry Word. They had gotten the ball after San Diego botched a lateral deep in charge of territory. The Chiefs took over. Shortly thereafter scored. They had trailed 14-0. Now with Mark Vlasic replacing an ineffective Steve DeBerg at quarterback, they're within 4 at 14-10.
All right, thank you, Bob. The second time this year Vlasic's come in to replace DeBerg. They did that in the Denver game. 1st and 10, Dickerson catching that pass, now running the ball. New England chases him to the outside. Dickerson leaps over a tackle by Lippett, and he gets inside the 50 to New England territory at the 48. Here's the Budweiser 10-minute ticker now. Houston's going to wrap it up today in the AFC Central. Denver has gone ahead 14-7 on a John Elway touchdown pass in Cleveland. And the Giants, Beasley.
Oh, my goodness, they're just hanging on. Oh.
As Bob told you, Kansas City's back in it. Dallas leads over New Orleans now 16-14, and the Bears are comfortably ahead of Green Bay 27-13. And Jeff George and the Colts are nursing a 7-point lead, looking for their second win of the year here in New England with 12.5 minutes to go. Dickerson running and grabbed by the ankle. He leaps forward to the 46-yard line. He is short of the first down. They must get to the 42.
Well, that was a very good tackle at just the right moment. What they like to do out of that formation, they still have a tight end, but they've got 3 people split out wide. It spreads the defense, and if Eric can just slip one, he might go. And that was a good tackle to stop that one.
But just to tell you how New England has done a good job against him, Dickerson has carried the ball 24 times today for 48 yards. That's 2 yards a carry he's averaging. Boy, that new math is wonders, doesn't it? Big play now, 3rd down, 4. George is being chased. And he will run out of bounds. They don't get the first down. Brent Williams on the chase. Exactly what the Patriots defense had to do.
Well, it's getting exciting now. Everybody in this place is standing up, and they are cheering. That's a coverage sack. He's looking. There's nothing there, and smartly, he doesn't throw it up for grabs. He steps out and says, we'll live to try it again. Now it's up to that New England Patriot offense to see if they can get something cooking again.
Stark will punt. Stands at his 38-yard line. Henderson stands back at his 10 for New England. He got it away. There's a flag down. Henderson runs up for a fair catch and puts it down at the 14-yard line. Now the penalty. If it is against Indianapolis, I would think New England would want them to repunt.
And Rick Ventura says, hold it.
And it is against Indianapolis.
Yes, it is.
Sure, why not? Well, they're going to return it. They are going to
accept it there.
Accept the
illegal
the penalty, take the ball.
Not enough men on the line of scrimmage on the kicking team. The penalty is declined. First down, New England.
All right, they say probably Stark's a pretty good punter, and maybe he could put one even deeper the next time inside the 10. New England must rally. We'll be right back.
The National Football League is brought to you by Domino's. Call Domino's right now and you'll be enjoying a hot, delicious pizza when the game is over.
Jim Donovan and Beasley Reese at Foxborough Stadium. 4th quarter, 11-17 left. The Colts leading by 7. New England accepts the ball at their own 14-yard line. Leonard Russell runs it. Got away to the 17. A 3-yard gain for Russell. Tonight, primetime begins with Erie, Indiana at 7, 6 Central Time. Then don't miss TV's Funniest Family, the Torkelsons at 7:30, 6:30 Central. Then it's the television event of the year when the Judds make their final network appearance on Hot Country Nights, taped prior to their recent pay-per-vision concert. Plus, Willie Nelson, Alan Jackson, and Eddie Rabbitt say goodbye to the Judge on Hot Country Nights, followed by the great movie, One Special Victory. Here's Leonard Russell to the outside again. He will not get to the 20-yard line. Interesting series here, Beasley. 2 running plays by the Patriots, down by 7, although they are deep in their own territory.
Well, this is Millen time coming up now. Let's take a look at Russell. He's got some nice interior running here. Some good faking, but couldn't get away from the big guy. Nice fake that he made on Ball, who was injured, back in the game now.
McPherson opting not to go with the jacket here today. And it is getting a bit cold up here in Foxborough here in the late stages of this one. And a big play now, 3rd and 5 for New England. And a blitz by Harai. Patriots pick it up. Millen finds McMurtry. First down, New England at the 29. 10-yard play.
Well, McMurtry seems to be the guy right now. McMurtry, Millen, that's the combination today. They got to hope he gets up. What a big catch in a big situation there. Millen had no question. It's like he knew where he was going, step and throw. Let's see the catch. Well, McMurtry has been great.
One of the Colts is down injured at the New England 10-yard line. We'll check out that and check out McMurtry, too, when we come back to Foxborough. Here's Donnell Thompson. He has an injured right ankle and is trying to walk that one off. Johnny Baylor left the game and is going to be x-rayed. He got hurt on the last defensive series for the Colts. 2 interceptions today for Baylor. And he's being taken to the x-ray room. Hugh Millen steps up and finds Marv Cook for a catch on first down to the New England 36-yard line. We have 9:35 remaining in regulation time. The Colts lead 17-10. And after his last catch, Greg McMurtry left the Patriots lineup with what looked to be a twisted ankle, but he is expected to return. There's McMurtry. It looks like he's going to just got a new tape job, Beasley, on the sideline. He now has 8 catches for 120 yards, the best ever in the NFL for him. Irving Fryer left the game injured in the first quarter and has not returned. Second down. The run to Russell. Oh, he got tipped over and finally brought down. That play almost turned into a big play.
That was almost something special. If he could have kept his balance to the outside, he might be just about tackled now. That was almost a good one.
Again, we have big games going on around the league, so now let's take a look at them. Houston wraps it up with a win today in the Central. Philadelphia's gone ahead of the Giants 16-14. You will not hear from Beasley the rest of the afternoon if that holds true. Denver looks like they're going to win. San Diego is holding on to a win. Dallas and Chicago lead. New England and Indianapolis, 17-10 Colts. 3rd down and 2 for the Patriots. Millen with a big blitz from the outside. Misses Stevens at the 43. It's 4th down. The Patriots must give up the ball with 8:21 left.
Boy, how close they were. Russell almost with the big one, and then if you could have hit Stevens there, he would be still running. Let's take a look at it. He'll sneak past the blitz, break inside, and look. Oh, that's John Stevens' fault. Man.
And I count that as the 3rd blatant drop today by New England.
And it's all been short arm, like they didn't stick their arms out far enough, which kind of happens when you're in traffic and you expect people to be kind of flying around.
4th down and 2. Verdun back at the 29. Eugene Lockhart again is in on the tackle. He has been sensational today, making tackles on punt returns by Verdun. 33-yard punt, a 6-yard return. Remember, coming up next, as the second part of your doubleheader, Game 2, the Buffalo Bills and the Los Angeles Raiders getting set to go out at the Coliseum in Los Angeles. What a ball game that should be. The Raiders can wrap up a playoff spot with a win today. Buffalo has already wrapped up the AFC East, but they want to hold on to that #1 seed in the playoff and have home field all the way through. And Indianapolis here in Foxborough today, looking to give Rick Venturi his second win of the year. They have the ball at their own 35. George fires. Brooks. First down, Colts. And he's out to the 47-yard line.
Tackle made by Morris.
All right, here's the playoff picture. The Oilers are about ready to clinch the AFC Central Division, so let's put them in the playoffs. Okay, Beasley?
Let's do it.
The Raiders wrap it up with a win today. Denver, they're on their way to a win in Cleveland. And then, of course, those teams are all battling for wild card playoff spots. Cleveland would fall off the map with a loss today. Kansas City is losing in their game against San Diego by 4. 1st and 10 now. 7.5 remaining in the game. The ball is at the Colt 48-yard line. Here's Dickerson. He got hit in the backfield. Fred Smerlis, 13-year veteran out of Boston College, makes the tackle.
You know, out of this formation, they had too many people up front. There was no way they could block it. That really, you know, maybe another year of experience, and Jeff George is able to stand up and make an audible there.
Fred Smerlis is campaigning for Marv Cook, the tight end for the New England Patriots, to make it to the Pro Bowl. So on Smerlis's truck,
his pickup truck,
he has a big sign that says Marv Cook leads all tight ends in the NFL with receptions.
He's exactly what this team needed.
But the fans don't vote, do they?
No, they don't.
But I'll tell you, that's a great story. Here's George under pressure, and they'll get him.
Garen Veris, I do believe.
It is.
Underneath the pile, coming around for one big play. Boy, he's been pretty active today. Let's see if we can find him. There he is on the inside, working between center and right guard, just forcing his way in. That's a great play. And that's not a gift. You know, some of those sacks are gimme gift sacks, like the quarterback is flushed out of the pocket and you happen to be there. Garen earned that one.
You know, I'm just saying, from his facial expression, doesn't he look a little bit like George Foreman? He's in much better shape, though.
He's got a little hair, too.
3rd down and 16. The catch is made by Hester, but the open field tackle by Harry Colin, and the Colts will have to give up the ball.
Harry Colin has done a good job today. I mean, he's made some good one-on-ones against Dickerson. And here, you know, it's okay when you're playing man for man and your guy catches the ball, as long as you make the tackle. And that's exactly what he does there. That's a super job. A young guy, he's a rookie, making some big plays today.
So we fall back now to Ron Stark punting and Jerome Henderson receiving back at the 10-yard line.
You know, this is that dangerous distance for Ron Stark. Boy, he can pin you back. He's got that type of talent. And 3-time Pro Bowl.
He has done it a couple of times today. You're right. New England trying to set up for a return. Henderson catches at the 18. Lepet blocks for him. There's a flag down as he carries out to the 30-yard line, which would be pretty good starting field position, but I think this might be going against New England. It stands as a 34-yard punt and a 12-yard return. Dick McPherson very interested to see what this call will be.
This is a very big call and a big situation. You're talking about 5 minutes. They've got to get a touchdown, and if they do, you know, we've got a scenario.
Illegal block, number 40, on the return, 10 yards, 1st down.
Harry Colin is hit with the penalty.
Got somebody in the back, but as I was saying, the situation is shaping up where we could get some, I don't even want to say it. Should I say it? Should I say overtime?
It's a very, very real possibility.
Very real possibility. We could make some overtime money here in the booth.
17-10. New England on 1st down. They go to Leonard Russell. He gets hit hard. Jeff Harrod and Dwayne Bickett come flying after Leonard Russell, and I think it was Harrod that got him up top.
You know, those are two great linebackers. I mean, great. The guy you're looking at right there came into the game, Jim, with 123 tackles.
I'm telling you, Beasley, it's getting a little bit late here for them to be running the ball on plays like that up the middle. We're down to 4.5 minutes remaining in the game, and they are way back in their own territory, just over their own 20 now. Second down. A nice pocket.
Oh, that's good.
And the ball is caught by Rob Carpenter, and a first down out to the 33-yard line. And he stops the clock, too.
Well, after that big drop that Carpenter had a couple of series ago, it's good to see him make a catch. But when Hugh Millen let that ball go, I knew it was good. It just developed very, very well. Now, take a look. When you've got good blocking, you've got time to step, stretch, and throw. You can put a ball low and outside away from the defender. That's what it's all about.
Carpenter had a drop earlier in the game, but he catches here. 12-yard pass play, first down New England. Patriots have all of their timeouts left. And Millen drops on first down again. Running out of time. Stevens cannot make the catch over his head.
Well, I think that was a smart play by Millen as we see him gather himself up off of George Thoma's turf. That was a pretty smart play. Everybody was covered. He basically threw that to a spot where it could not be intercepted. Look at Big Bickett, 6'5", working on the inside. You see hand reaching out. Hugh Millen smartly throws to a spot that nobody can. Look at the way he's landing. Now listen, that's a tough position.
Yes, you're right.
Man.
Second down and 10. 4:18 left. New England trails by 7. Indianapolis' defense has been very good here today. They've had a good pass rush. They've gotten to Millen a number of times today. Marv Cook goes down the line in motion. Millen is in trouble, spinning, and throws it away.
Well, that's like he was disoriented there. I mean, he made every move possible to get away, and then smartly once again throws it away. Well, this is it. Now watch him in his pocket right here. It's almost like it's like there's an earthquake. The ground's moving. He's spinning, trying anything to get away. Realizes he's in trouble and heaves it.
He actually got his foot locked on his offensive lineman, Pat Harlow. And I think New England on the sideline, I think Dick McPherson is wondering right now, what do we do if we don't get the first down here? Do we punt? Can our defense hold them? They do have all of their timeouts left. If we don't get the 10 yards here, it's 3rd and 10 with 4:11 left. Millen in trouble. He's flushed to the outside. He's got a lot of running room. And he got the first down.
Yeah, but there's a blatant foul.
A flag goes down.
Leonard Russell hit somebody clearly square in the back. I mean, a ridiculous play. And I don't think the guy would have caught Millen.
So what looks to have been a first down run by Millen, as Beasley points out, Leonard Russell appears to have hit someone from behind, and that will cost the Patriots the first down.
You know, it's rookie enthusiasm, overzealous, but you got to pull off there. Let's see if we got it.
Illegal block on the offense. 10 yards. Repeat, 3rd down.
He didn't give a number.
All right, let's see if we can pick this up. They're right there. Well, I guess he did have his head in the front a little bit. It wasn't as blatant as I thought. So it was Russell blocking Bickett, but clearly in the back. That's one he should have pulled off. I don't think Bickett could have caught him anyway.
And the penalty is marked from the foul. So it's now 3rd down and 13 with 4:03 left. And the shotgun now for Millen. Protection is good. And the catch is made. It's Rob Carpenter. First down at the 46 of Indianapolis.
Three-yard reception and confidence builder for everybody. Millen with the timing throw to Carpenter, who certainly needed to make a catch like that. In traffic, what a play. And look at the coach. You think he's not pumped up right now? Yes, sir. What a play.
He had Carpenter, of course, at Syracuse and brought him here with him to the New England Patriots. First down at the 46. 3:18 left. A flare to the outside, and Russell will turn that into a game because that looked like a sure loss.
You know, the thing that Russell does that frightens everybody to death, is the way he carries that ball out there. I mean, the classic statement is like a loaf of bread, but he actually used the ball to reach over the defender as part of his move. That's a dangerous thing.
Taking a lot of time now getting this play in.
Yeah, they really are.
We're under 3 minutes. McPherson looks to the clock. He's got 3 timeouts left and, of course, the 2-minute warning. So virtually they have 4. They trail by 7.
I'd be covering Cook right now.
They wasted a ton of time in between plays here. Millen throwing. Oh, the drop by Timpson. He was wide open at the 20-yard line, and he dropped the ball. That's 4 drops by New England today.
And you know what, Jim? It's been split concentration every time. I'm over the middle. I know that safeties are attracted to the football. That's split concentration. He's got to catch that. He's got to catch that ball.
Can't believe it. Cannot believe it.
See, that's where you miss a guy like Irving Fryer.
Yes.
See, he makes that catch and takes the hit, or he makes that catch and takes it into the end zone.
3rd down and 10 now. We'll see if the Patriots can put it behind them. There's the sack. It's Holloway from the outside. Cornell Holloway sacks Hugh Millen. It's the 6th sack today. New England is going to punt. Listen to the crowd. They're going to punt here with just 2:25 left in the game. Can you believe this?
I can't believe it. I can't believe the drop. It goes back to Timpson. Timpson puts them in a position to make this decision.
I can't believe they're punting. Here's McCarthy. They'll give the ball back to the Colts with 2 minutes left. The catch is made inside the 10. Mike Pryor makes the catch. And they will start at their own 9-yard line. What I guess he's gambling on is the fact that he's got all of his timeouts left.
That's exactly what he's doing. He's got 4 timeouts. He's got the 2-minute, and he's got 3 breaks of his own. So he's figuring that he's in motion.
But really 1 first down by Indianapolis, and it's over.
And they're in trouble.
So rather than go for it on 4th down after the sack of Millen on 3rd down, Dick McPherson is saying to his defense, you've got to stop them right here. The ball is at the 9-yard line with 2:02 left. New England punted the ball back to Indianapolis. They go to Dickerson. He's got a hole, and Dickerson runs it out over the 15-yard line.
Jim, he's run hard all day long. That was a critical, crucial 8-yard gain.
Under 2 minutes left. We'll be right back. Indianapolis has the ball. It will be 2nd down and 1. They are trying to run the clock out and gain their 2nd win of the year. They have the ball out over the 18. Rick Venturi 1-7 since taking over, fighting to win today and win the head coaching job of Indianapolis. On 2nd and 1, Dickerson to the outside. He needs to get right to the 19-yard line to get the first down. There is a whistle and a timeout called. And we'll step away from Foxborough. 17-10 Colts. Cast is presented by authority of the National Football League, and it is intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the express written consent of the New England Patriots and the National Football League is prohibited. This game is the property of the National Football League. Indianapolis Colts and New England Patriots, all rights reserved. They are measuring right now to see if Eric Dickerson got the first down, and he did not. He is about 3 or 4 inches shy of a first down. Setting up a 3rd down and inches with 1:50 remaining. It's going to be a long 150 for that man right there as he tries to wait it out. All right, everybody's up on their feet right now. 3rd down and inches. Colts by 7. Clock has started with 1:38 left. Dickerson. Oh, he didn't get it. New England's going to call a timeout. They're celebrating, and they let another 6 seconds go off the clock. Save the high fives for later. We'll be right back.
defensive surge by the Patriots. Take a look at the line. They moved the line of scrimmage. You see people underneath on the ground. Smurless, Fred Smurless. That's the reason he's celebrating. He knifed underneath, stuck out a hand, disrupted the entire play. And a big play it was.
Now, tell me this, Beasley. Do you go after a block here? Stark is standing inside his 5 at the 4. Do you go after it, or do you set up for the return?
I don't think so. I would set up a return, and from the way they're looking right now, I would say that's what they're going to do.
And one thing that the Colts will try and make New England do, I think, is try and jump offside here, too, probably. New England has called a timeout.
Jim, you explain this one.
Now, the scoreboard, up on the scoreboard, it says that the Patriots have 2 timeouts left. Down on the field, he just said that they used their last timeout. We're going to have to straighten that out.
I hope that they weren't fooled by the scoreboard. And the only other thing that I could think of is maybe I didn't see too many men on the field, or not enough men. Maybe it was something critical like that forced them to make the move. So I won't second guess them. I'll just say that's strange.
And Dick McPherson is out on the field right now trying to yell to one of the officials. Brent Williams came out on the field without his helmet on, 96. He came out on the field without his helmet on, and that was when they called the timeout. He was signaling timeout. So the big question, folks, is how many timeouts does New England have left? The scoreboard says they have 2. The referee announced that they were out of timeouts when they used that last one. See right there, 2 timeouts left on the Patriots side with 1:13 remaining in regulation time. Final scores today: Chicago has just won over Green Bay 27-13. Denver was a winner today. Kansas City has just gone ahead of San Diego 17-14. Denver won 17-7 in Cleveland. New England will get the ball back. Henderson lets it bounce, and it takes a New England bounce, and they'll have good field position now out over their own 45-yard line to the 47. First down, Patriots, with 1:05 remaining.
Well, this is their time in the game, Jim. They've got a minute left. We showed you what they've done in a minute. As Coach tries to get some type of explanation right now.
They are going over with the side judge there how many timeouts they have left.
And it looks like the coach is pointing up at the sign, up at the scoreboard.
Now they are trying to explain it to us. Our producer is trying to explain it to us right now. They had called timeout, then there was a measurement. Again, now the Patriots are coming up to the line of scrimmage. The officials are huddling right now with 1:05 remaining. And I still think in contention right now is how many timeouts New England has left. He's saying we have 2. That's what he just pointed. We have 2 left. The scoreboard is correct here at the stadium. Let's show that to you right now. So with 1:05 left, New England has 2 timeouts remaining. All right, we have straightened that out. We have 2, and Dick is telling us too. We have 2 timeouts left. He's saying the Patriots are not out of timeouts. Rick Venturi now is saying, hey, wait a minute. He just announced that they are out of timeouts. Best starting field position of the day for New England at a time that they need it. Their own 49-yard line. Colts protecting a 7-point lead in a very hard-fought game here in Foxborough. Millen. Mark Cook stretches and cannot hang on at the 40. Chris Good on the coverage. The crowd wanted a flag. None thrown.
Well, sometimes you have to say good defense, and that's exactly what Good just did. Good position, reaching out over Cook. They finally stopped him for once.
2 timeouts remaining. The Patriots called a timeout, but there was a measurement, so that wiped out the timeout that they called. And they have 2 remaining. Second down. Millen running.
He's got plenty of room.
40, 37. And he'll immediately call a timeout. They'll have one left with 51 seconds remaining.
Well, Jim, it wasn't pretty, but he made the right step at the right time, found some opening.
And got 14 yards on the play and a first down. And with 51 seconds remaining, there's the critical stat now that's been causing us so much confusion. How many timeouts are left? New England has one. Indianapolis has one. They have the ball at the 37-yard line. The Colts are protecting a 17-10 lead. This kid Millen's very good, folks, in this stage of the game. It seems like every week he's been in this position. Over on their sideline now, Beasley, what do you do? If you blitz and it's picked up, someone's going to be wide open.
Well, since they need a touchdown, probably what they'll do is take a more conservative approach. I wouldn't want to blitz in this situation and turn somebody loose or leave it up to a one-on-one scenario where you get maybe a pass interference call at the 1-yard line. You got to know that Millen is going to try to put the ball into the end zone or somewhere around it. I would take a conservative approach, and I'd go to the vaunted.
All right, let's take a look.
Defense.
Let's take a look quickly. All right, we're not going to take a look quickly at anything. 51 seconds remaining. We are going to take a look at the Canon camcorder replay of the game. And there it is right there. Right now, that stands as the big play of the game on 3rd down and 6 inches. New England stopping the Indianapolis Colts and getting the ball back. 51 seconds left. 17-10. New England down by 7. Millen flushed out of the pocket. John Hand chasing him. Can't find anybody, so he throws it out of bounds.
Okay, that's a smart play. And the point that I was trying to finish about the defense is I would go to the prevent. I mean, that's something that everybody hates. But in this situation, you allow them to catch short passes, come up and make the tackle. You leave them one option, and that's a desperate 4th and sling it down to the end zone.
2nd down and 10 with 42 seconds remaining in the ball game. 4 wide receivers in. John Stevens is the lone back. Flags fall on the play. And the play never gets off to a start. 42 seconds remaining. Here's the call from Stan Kemp.
Number 64, prior to the snap, 5 yards, still 2nd down.
John Melander is hit with the false start. Melander's had a tough day since coming into the lineup. He replaced Danny Villa, who went out injured in the first half. So it's a 5-yard penalty. 2nd down and 15 now with 42 seconds remaining in the game. New England needs a touchdown to send it into overtime. Millen's going long. He's got Tips in there.
Oh! What a play!
And they miss on the connection. Just a little bit long at the 5-yard line. 3rd down and 15.
Jimmy, it was an adjustment route. Hugh Millen simply threw it out there. When Timpson saw it, he gave everything in his body to adjust. Got his left hand on it, couldn't bring it in. So close. You know, that's one of those where the quarterback just hopes you recognize what he's trying to do. The route was an over route. Not even body English could bring it in.
Big body English. 3rd down and 15. Millen. Mark Cook, first down, Patriots at the 23.5-yard line. Clock running. They have 1 timeout left. He should get up there and throw the ball into the ground. And he does. Stopping it with 17 seconds left. How many plays do you have with 17 seconds left, Beasley? And do they all have to go into the end zone?
They've got 2, maybe 3. I put all 3 into the end zone.
They have 1 timeout left. Rick Venturi right now, what will he do? Will he drop everybody into that end zone?
I think that he'll drop back still in a prevent mode. See, even everything that they've accomplished today means absolutely nothing. If you're the Indianapolis coach, you still feel good defensively. You're forcing people to catch balls in front of you, and that's what they have to keep going. I'd put me a couple of safeties on the A and the S in Patriots right now in that end zone and say just break up on anything.
It's at the 23.5-yard line. 2nd down Across the line of scrimmage comes Tony Siragusa, and immediately he turns.
Siragusa better be right.
And points to the Patriot offensive line and says that they drew him off.
False start, number 63, prior to the snap. 5 yards.
And it is the center, Gene Chilton. Well, 5 yards at this stage of the game doesn't really mean a heck of a lot. It's not like you need a field goal. You need a touchdown. 17 seconds. The Patriots do have one timeout left. And they trail by 7. Millen for Gibson. He's got it at the 2-yard line. 9 seconds left. They call the timeout right now. 26-yard pass play. Millen to Timpson.
Where you can forget about his first mistake. He just atoned for it. This is in traffic classically. You see the safety falling, but Timpson doesn't know that. He thinks that he's about to get knocked out when he catches the ball, yet he still comes up with it. That's a great throw, a great decision, and a great catch.
Now, I have to ask you this. Why isn't that a touchdown? Did he indeed get touched when he was going across? Let's go back here. Timpson's got it.
I believe that the safety touches him on the ground right here. I tell you, that's a tough call.
I mean, it's a lot closer, I think, than, you know, what that we're normally saying
this
here.
angle would suggest. Let's slow it right there. He must be touched right there. He's got to be touched at something on the ground at some point in this scenario where we're being rocked right here.
And he rolls into the end zone. And they are saying that obviously he bumped into Pryor going down. The ball is at the 2-yard line. You have 9 seconds left. Here they come. They're out of timeouts. They need a touchdown. And then the extra point to tie it. Cook in motion. Touchdown, Ben Cook! Instead, he looked to Cook and then gave it to Coach. Now, they must make the extra point with 7 seconds left. Bauman for the extra point to tie the game at 17. It's good. There's a flag down on the extra point, so we wait. New England players are suggesting it's against Indianapolis. Let's get the call from Stan Kemp and make sure.
Too many men on the field.
Too many men on the field.
The kick
On
is
Indianapolis.
good. 5 yards on the kickoff.
17 with 7 seconds left in regulation time.
And how about this? Everybody would think that you go to Cook. And what courage it takes to stand in there if your name is Hugh Miller. And what about Ben Coates? He dropped 2 critical passes earlier, but boy, does he make the one that counts. You know, this has been a game of second chances, Jim. Michael Timpson dropped one that he should have had that might have saved a lot of grief. He comes back and makes the big one. Ben Coates drops 2 that he should have had that might have saved some grief. He comes back and makes the big one, and we're all tied up with 7 seconds left to go.
And you see the look of frustration on Rick Venturi's face. He is very upset. They had this one wrapped up. They took a 14-point lead into the final quarter, 17-3.
Jim, let's step back for just a second, and on a personal side, talk about what's going through that man's mind and the mind of his assistant coaches right now. This was a game that if he wins, there's a strong group in Indianapolis wishing that he gets the head coaching job. He comes out, wins here, wins in Tampa. plays well in Buffalo in between those two, maybe he gets a job. What does this mean if they can't pull it out?
They put the ball on the ground and kick it on the ground, and it's picked up by Quintus McDonald, and he brings it out to the 32-yard line. In no way did they want to put the ball in the hands of Clarence Verdun on a kickoff and let him go with it. 2 seconds. Now, this guy's got a great arm, but
yes,
I don't even think with the great arm that he has, he can get one down on the field.
Well,
down the field deep enough.
You hope for one thing, and that's a pass interference or one of those special replays that live on in NFL history where a ball bounces up and down a couple of times and somebody catches it. Or you opt for overtime.
And they are set up in a formation that they will drop it down to one knee. We go to overtime here in Foxborough.
I never should have said it.
17-17. New England battles back for 2 fourth-quarter touchdowns, the last of which came with 7 seconds remaining on a Hugh Millett touchdown pass of 2 yards to tight end Ben Coates. The point after good, and we're tied at 17-17, the Colts and the Patriots. Now, if you're Rick Venturi, you must gather your team back in, settle them down, because obviously they're very disappointed that they were not able to hold the lead. On the other side of the field, for Dick McPherson, you have to build on what you were able to do on that last drive and keep saying it's our ball game right now. Let's hold on to it. And he tells whoever is going out there with the cape on.
I believe that's Marv. I believe that's Marv Cook.
Win the toss. Here's the toss. Let's listen in.
There's the head. Who's going to call it? Number 38. All right, please call it in the air. Tail. A tail is called. It is a tail. Indianapolis wins the toss.
Indianapolis has won the toss, and they will take the ball. And that's how we will begin overtime here in New England. We will be right back after these messages from your local station with overtime here in New England. Rick Venturi disappointed that we're in overtime. Dick McPherson thrilled that they're in overtime. 17-17. Colts win the toss, will receive, and so we begin. New England looking for win number 5 on the year. Indianapolis looking for win number 2. We'll be sending you to the Buffalo Raider game at the conclusion of this ball game. Sammy Martin takes it back at the 2-yard line. New England is there. He breaks 2 tackles and goes out to the 25-yard line. Let's go to the 10-minute ticker right now before Indianapolis begins their first possession. Houston's won the AFC Central. Philadelphia has practically eliminated the Giants, 19-14. Denver has eliminated Cleveland, 17-7. And the Broncos are very much in the AFC Western picture. They're in overtime in Kansas City. Dallas comes back to beat New Orleans. Green Bay and Chicago, the Bears win that one. We're in overtime here in New England. 17-17. The ball is short of the 25-yard line. George on first down. Pump fakes. Throws the stretch, and a fine catch by Bill Brooks on the far sideline to the 29-yard line. A 4-yard gain.
Let's check the feet and make sure everything is okay here. Look at the stretch. That's Big League dragging that right toe. No juggling, no question about it. Solid catch.
Ball is at the 29. It is 2nd down and 6. Brooks has had a good day. Overtime and movement on the left side of the offensive line.
Pat Harlow, the left tackle.
That's Vanderpool.
I'm sorry, Vanderpool, number 72, popping up on the left side, and what a critical mistake there for Vanderpool.
Number 72 on the offense.
Because that wipes out the great catch that Bill Brooks just made. And now it becomes 2nd down and closer to 11. Ball is at the 24-yard line. Dickerson is the lone back in the backfield. That's Jesse Hester in motion. George throws. Bill Brooks catches and is double hit and finally goes down. David Howard made the tackle. Jerome Henderson hit him and missed, and then Howard came in to cover up. And it will be 3rd down and 6 now for New England's defense and the Colts offense.
That's a perfect distance for the Indianapolis offense. That's really all they have time to do. If you've noticed, George has only been able to go back for the 10-yard route, the 5-6-yard route. They just can't block long enough.
It will be interesting to see what New England does here if they send some people on this 3rd and 6. Let's watch. New England hops across. Garen Varus came across the line first. And, of course, immediately turns and looks at the Colt offensive line.
Well, that snap, they delayed the snap count so long that you would think Jeff George was holding them to see if he could get them to jump off sides and see if that's what happened. They sat there a long time.
Encroachment,
No, it's
number
offside on
90
Ring.
on the
He got
defense.
him.
5 yards, still 3rd down.
So wipe out 3rd and 6. And now make it 3rd down and 1.
You know, they go on the same snap count. They'll do it all game long, saving it for this moment right here and then change it. But George will go a little bit different on the volume to see if he could get somebody, and that time he got Varus.
He looks very composed, doesn't he?
He really does.
3rd and 1 now for Jeff George and the Colts to hold on to the ball. First possession of overtime. He's going to try and throw for it. And it's knocked down by Tony Zachary. Interesting call. 3rd down and 1, and he went for a big play. They'll punt.
You know, once again, Jim, that's a second chance deal. Zachary missed an interception that was right in his hands earlier, but he's got a highlight to talk about on Monday. Look at this. Coming in at the nick of time with the left hand. That's beautiful.
So Ron Stark will punt it away, and Jerome Henderson is standing back at his 21-yard line as Indianapolis goes 3 plays and out on their first possession of overtime. Good punt by Stark. And at the 17, here comes Henderson. Got a block from Lepet and is up to the 25. 1st and 10, New England at the 25-yard line. We're in overtime here in Foxborough, 17-17. And we'll be sending you on your way to Buffalo and the Raiders coming up next out at the Coliseum. And that game is just underway. The Bills and Raiders are underway out at the Coliseum in Los Angeles. And there is an early score in that game from the Coliseum. The Raiders lead on a Jeff Jagger field goal. 3-0 is the score on that one. We'll keep you up to date on that game, but right here, overtime, and at the 25-yard line, 1st down. Leonard Russell. He's got a big hole to the 40. First down, New England, out near the 47-yard line. His first big hole of the day.
And man, did it come at the right time. Now watch the left to right cut right there. That's a smooth cut, stepping on the inside, using all of his size and power to get upfield.
23-yard running play for Leonard Russell, and a 1st down for New England now at the Patriot 47-yard line.
Smooth, big runner.
New England sending Marv Cook off the field right now. Rob Carpenter comes down in motion on 1st down. Back to Russell. Carrying tacklers to the 48-yard line of Indianapolis. The Colts pull the ball loose and say that they have it. Jeff Harrod has the ball, and they say that Russell fumbled and the Colts recover. One official turned and pointed that the Colts had recovered the ball. Now you got yourself a mess.
All right, let's dig this thing out. Here we go. A critical moment. Keep your eye on Russell. Where's the ball? It's back behind him.
Oh, he's down.
It looks like he's down.
He was down.
The ruling on the field is the player was down.
Now, Stan Kemp, the referee, has announced that the ruling on the field is that the player was down.
And, Jim, that's a critical ruling because the replay is not going to give you indisputable evidence. So they'll have to stay with the ruling on the field. From the way we saw it, it looks like that ball is in there, and as a result, they'll probably end up keeping it.
And they're waiting for the final word from the replay booth here in Foxborough.
You make the ruling on the field a fumble, and that's what they'd have to stay with because it was such a crowd, you can't tell what the ball did.
Yeah, but you did see the one official like me, didn't you, turn and give the
make
ball
an
to
instant
Indianapolis?
turn. He
Here
sure
it is
did.
again, Beasley.
And it was the official on the far side who would be in position
He's down
because
right
of where
there.
the ball is. I think he's down. What a marvelous game. See, you got to figure that it's coming. See, the only thing is, why would he be reaching why would the ball come out like that unless he was reaching as it fell?
All right, I think we finally have a final decision here.
After further review, the play stands.
It is New England ball.
Well,
oh, boy. Don't ask Rick Venturi about instant replay right now.
That blood pressure gauge is up about 300 right now, and understandably so. That was a big, big decision.
All right, now, as the Patriots come up to the line of scrimmage again, we have a stoppage in play. We are at 12:07 remaining in overtime. It is 17-17. The Patriots, Leonard Russell, carried the ball at a first down play, carried tacklers down to the Colt 48-yard line, went down on the field, the ball squirted loose.
Now watch your official coming into the frame in the heat of the battle right after the play. That's what he said. I mean, the instant call was let's take it that way.
All right, so we are hearing now that they are not reviewing the play because indeed the play was, they are saying, whistle dead, and they cannot review that. If a play is dead and whistle dead, then it's over. All right, now I think we finally have it straightened out that New England will maintain possession.
The play stands is called New England ball, second down.
Second down, Patriots.
You remember, Jim, last time we were here, Dick McPherson talked to us about Russell when he really tries that extra yard. Sometimes he lets the ball get away from him.
2nd and 5 now with Coates, the man who caught the tying touchdown, in motion. They go back to Russell, following his way near the Colt 45-yard line, and he will be 2 yards shy of a first down.
Look at the power that lives inside the hips and thighs of that man. I mean, that's moving 2 or 3 people. That's a big, strong running back.
It is 3rd down and 2. Russell has 69 yards rushing today.
The official blew.
The National Severe Storms Forecast Center has issued a severe thunderstorm watch for parts of eastern Illinois and parts of northern and central Indiana, effective this Sunday afternoon and evening until 9 p.m. Central Standard Time, which is 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Large hail, dangerous lightning, and damaging thunderstorm winds are possible in these areas. The severe thunderstorm watch area is along and 65 statute miles east and west of a line, from 40 miles southeast of Mattoon, Illinois, to South Bend, Indiana. In Indiana, this severe thunderstorm watch is in effect until 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and includes that part of Indiana north of a line from 30 miles southwest of Terre Haute to 20 miles southwest of Bloomington, and northwest of a line from 20 miles southwest of Bloomington to 60 miles north of Fort Wayne. Some cities included are Terre Haute, Crawfordsville, Lafayette, Indianapolis, Kokomo, Logansport, and South Bend. Remember, a watch means that conditions are favorable for severe weather in and close to the watch area. Persons in these areas should be on the lookout for threatening weather conditions and listen for later statements and possible warnings. Once again, the National Severe Storms Forecast Center has issued a severe thunderstorm watch for parts of eastern Illinois and parts of northern and central Indiana, effective this Sunday afternoon and evening until 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Appear to be going into their 2-back set of Stevens and Russell, and they are. That's Stevens, who is the fullback, blocking for Russell. It's a reverse to the tight end, Coates, and it fails miserably back to the 45-yard line. Clancy, Ball, Bickett, and Banks are all there. What a Colts defensive party on that one.
Well, you know, I just don't like this call to a player like Ben Coates. I mean, how fast can he be? Even if it's a good play and it fools everybody, how long is it going to fool this guy? This guy can't be fast enough to really penetrate.
9:20 remaining in overtime. The Patriots have a 3rd down and 13 at the Indianapolis 45-yard line and must put it up for the first time here in overtime. Blitz. Millen got away. Twice, but not the 3rd time. He's finally brought down right at midfield. Chris Good circled in and made the tackle of Hugh Millen. For the 8th time today, Millen has been sacked. And New England will now try and punt the ball out inside the 20.
Well, Millen is lucky enough to be able to be in the position to tuck that ball away. And I think that the lack of success there goes to the Colts, the Ben Coates reverse call. I just don't know about that.
Here's Sean McCarthy. Fair catch called for by Pryor. Indianapolis will start at their own 15-yard line. Second possession, a 35-yard punt by McCarthy. We're in Foxborough Stadium, and we are in overtime. Jim Donovan and Beasley Reese. New England tied the game with 7 seconds remaining on a touchdown pass from Hugh Millen to Ben Coates. Coming up next here, the second half of your doubleheader from the Los Angeles Coliseum, the Buffalo Bills and LA Raiders. And already in that game from the Coliseum, the Raiders have kicked a field goal and lead 3-0 over the Buffalo Bills. We understand now that Al Edwards has just run back a kickoff return, and the Raiders lead in that game 10-7. Edwards carrying it back for Buffalo in that game. No gain at all for Dickerson, and he will lose yardage.
Garen Ferris, once again, the veteran defensive lineman, has come up with some great plays today. That time with a quick beat, a quick move on the inside and a tackle.
You know, go back now to regulation. What confidence Dick McPherson had in his defense, because he punted the ball away on 4th down by 7 with 2 minutes to go in the game, and said to his defense, stop them. They did, got the ball back and scored. 2nd down 13 for Jeff George. In trouble, incomplete. He got hit as he threw, and it falls in front of Bill Brooks. George looking at his right hand. It looks like he might have caught a helmet on that Patriots rush, and it's 3rd down and 13.
Let's take a look at it again. He had Jesse Hester flashing across, but he didn't have time to get the ball out to him. He was in a bad position. There's no way he could get it to Brooks there. Maybe he threw that into the ground.
The ball is back now at the Indianapolis 12-yard line, and you must be very careful here on 3rd down and 13 with 7:55 to go in overtime. That's Hester in motion. George looking for someone to free up. Incomplete. He threw it short of Hester. And New England should get good field position as their defense does it again, Beasley.
That's exactly, I mean, when you talk about coming up at the right time, take a look at Jesse Hester. First of all, he's shielded. He has difficulty even getting to the inside. By the time he gets over there, George is in so much duress, he can't really direct the ball at his. He had to basically throw it into the ground at his feet.
I really don't think George likes throwing on the run. He's a real pure pocket passer. Start from his end zone. Henderson,
plenty of room,
takes it at the 39-yard line. And out to the 47 and holding on to the ball. The tackle is made on the play by Scott Radisek. 48-yard punt, 7-yard return. Ivan Fears is giving the play to Hugh Millen. And now here comes the Patriots for their second possession. Still in overtime at Arrowhead, just like us, tied 17-17. And that Raider score is now 10-7. Al Edwards, incidentally, had a 58-yard return for a touchdown in that game to get Buffalo on the board. Seattle leading over San Francisco 6-0. And here in New England, we are at 17-17. The Colts have had the ball twice, and now this is the second crack for New England. And this is Leonard Russell. Into Colt territory at the 49. He got a nice block from the rookie Pat Harlow, the right tackle.
Good block that time, and you know, I would stick with this. Until they stopped it.
No more reverses to Ben Coates?
No more reverses to Ben Coates. I'd stick with this until they stopped it.
7:08 left. Clock running. Ball is at the 49-yard line. Millen bumps into Russell on the handoff. And Russell is still pushing to the 45-yard line. And guess who is in on the tackle? He's been in on it every play, it seems. Jeff Harrod.
You know, Russell gets up off the ground. He reminds you of Jim Brown when he gets up slow and kind of moseys back to the huddle. But, boy, when he comes out, he's dealing.
3rd down and 2, Beasley. And an interesting call here now. They have not
reversed to Ben Coates.
No, they have not shown any ability to throw the ball here in overtime. John Stevens and Leonard Russell split backfield. They are going to throw, and Millen is looking long for Timpson. Salute the game's MVP. The man in the middle being hugged, Michael Timpson. He's the winner of the We Try Harder Award. Avis, the official car rental company of the NFL. A 45-yard strike from Hugh Millen to Michael Timpson. Here it is, Beasley.
You know what? They were thinking they'd throw to somebody short. Only 2 needed for the first down, and Millen, he fools everybody. Just a perfect throw. Timpson, look at the desperation stab by the defensive back. And what a comeback for Timpson. What a touchdown.
He had dropped the ball earlier in the game when the Patriots were trying to come back. Came back and made some big catches and then hit the touchdown of 45 yards. Coming up next on most of these NBC stations, Game 2 of our NFL doubleheader. You'll see the Buffalo Bills square off against the LA Raiders. A rough day for Hugh Millen through 3 quarters. But in typical Millen Patriot fashion, he always saves the best for last. It's over here in New England. The Patriots win. For Beasley Reese, I'm Jim Donovan. So long from Foxborough.